Ah, sí, lo desenchufé para probar la camarita.
Hey everyone.
Ah, ¿ya?
Ya.
Yo.
Eso.
¿Qué más, Danielita?
Bien, hoy estamos
Temprano.
solitos ahorita.
Early.
Sí,
Early
we're
bird.
early today, yeah.
Danielita.
No sé por qué estamos solitos, estamos temprano.
Sí, ahí. Y también solos.
También solos.
Danielita, ¿me puedes pasar mi celular?
Ah, sí,
Muchas gracias.
de nada.
Thank you, Danielita.
You're
How are you,
welcome.
Danielita?
I'm fine.
We're early today.
Yeah,
A little bit early. Earlier than usual.
yeah.
Um,
A Christmas surprise.
oh, right. Yeah. And,
Hola, Fer.
uy, la Ferchuchi se está mirando.
Sí.
Muy bien. Shout out to Ferchuchis.
Fernanda Uribe.
Am, hoy vamos a hacer algo con valores tonales muy pegaditos. Entonces es de ese tipo de pinturas que me encanta hacer a mí. Mm, escogimos la composición horizontal, porque normalmente yo a veces me siento como que me acostumbro mucho a trabajar en composiciones verticales, entonces siempre que me doy cuenta que eso está sucediendo, pues hago el esfuerzo como por cambiarlo un poquitico y cambiar y pasar otra vez a una composición horizontal. Y lo único malo es que para que en el marco del video esté también la paleta, pues tendríamos, creo que, no sé si podemos realmente, no,
Pues
creo que
la
no.
cámara, o sea, igual con el lente que tenemos, la
Nos
cámara
toca
tendría que
difícil,
estar en
sí.
el techo.
En el techo, sí,
Sí,
en el en el cuarto piso.
sí, en el techo del
Eh,
edificio.
decirle a la Bessie que si no la sostiene, que se quede quieta.
Un poquito
Entonces,
largo el chiste,
sí,
pero sí.
estuvo, sí, pero me imaginé a la vecina ahí súper comprometida. Bueno, muchachos, yo aquí me quedo súper quieta. Claro que ahorita tengo que sacar al perro, entonces, bueno, no sé,
Uf,
me fui, chao.
lejísimo,
Eh,
sí.
pero entonces vamos a hacer una composición horizontal y nos toca sacrificar pues la paleta hoy.
Pero tienen la
Sí, señora.
imagen mucho más grande en la
Sí,
pantalla,
mucho más
entonces
grande. La
unas
pantalla.
por otras.
Unas por otras. One
For the other.
for the other,
Eso dices tú muy
como
español.
decimos en inglés.
Ujú.
Um, so, as we were saying, we're a little bit early today. We're going to do a sort of compressed value, gray on gray, light on light painting today. We're going to go with the horizontal composition. We have to sacrifice the palette because our lens doesn't let us, we don't have a zoom lens. We're trying to make up for that. We actually got a converter that I thought we were going to get, in these days. I think we're going to get it probably next
After
week.
Christmas, maybe. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. But like a converter so that the lenses that I used to have for my 5D, for my Canon, I can try and use for for this Sony camera. So I don't know if it's going to work
Yeah.
because this one in particular is for a Tamron zoom lens that I really liked. It's an older lens, but it should be fine. What I've read is that the focus, the autofocus, is not great. It's not brilliant. Like it won't really autofocus that quickly. But that's fine. Like for what we need, that's fine. It doesn't have that like the face recognition wouldn't work. Little stuff. But for us that have like a set focus for the videos, it works perfectly. So that should be fine. And with the 28 millimeter one, I think we should be able to get the whole table, which is pretty cool. Which is I don't even know how big this table is.
¿Pliego? ¿No es pliego?
No, I think it's smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit smaller. But anyways, so for today, let's so compressed value. We're gonna do the remains of a takeout, lunch session, and we'll see how that goes. We're gonna use our full palette, so even though it's gonna be a very gray painting, very muted painting, I still want to have the choice, the ability to access my full range of hues. So I'm going to use titanium white, yellow ochre, cad red, alizarin, ultramarine blue, and raw umber. So just my full palette. So I'm going to scribble a little bit of, because I can't seem to visualize the placement slash proportions of what I have to paint with this horizontal composition. So I'm thinking, now I'm thinking if it wasn't a better, well, it would have been really small, so maybe not. Maybe if I crop it, maybe if it's cropped. Let me start with a paper. Are we showing the reference, Danny? Danny Cito?
We
Okay.
are.
Nicolito. Nicolito. So that's like smack in the middle. And I don't know if that's a great choice for that composition. That maybe should be like a little towards the left. But if I do that height, that has to be, well, way narrower, even like smaller. So wow, as always, it's going to be, it would have to be, if I want to fit all the what do you call this box of the burger? Burger box? Like a little
mailbox? No.
Mailbox?
Meal. Like
meal box? Is that a name? Is that a thing? I don't even know, Danny. Like it's not that I don't trust you, I just don't know.
I was thinking on like when you ask for the Happy Meal, which is like a tiny meal box.
But should there be a name? Is there a name for like a burger, like specifically like a burger box?
Burger container.
Burger container? No, that's too much.
I don't think there's a name. I mean,
there should be a name. It's one of those things that should have like a proper name. Let me see. Let me scribble through this just to see if I can kind of find my way. But even this, if this is like, this would be taller and I'd be cropping that out. Wish my drawing was better, just so that I could have a bit like a quicker sense of placement for things. But no, not the case. Let me see. Let's go from here. Let's try to fit it from here. I don't mind if it's like a little crowded. From here to there. Let's see again. And I just want to get close, and I know I can do a better job with my finding my drawing through my painting, with my painting. So I just want to know that I can get the height right. And I'm always, I know myself, and it's always like guesstimating. So that should fit there. Should fit here. I also want to get my angles right. The other time, what was it that I painted, Danny? Like a paper bag?
Was it the paper bag?
Oh yeah, and I gave it like a completely different perspective. It was terrible.
But I thought
felt
it
horrible.
Was intentional.
Oh, so not intentional.
It looked intentional.
I know, but let's face it, like, if I'm being honest, no.
But to be fair, it's because of the angle you have to, like, paint on. I mean.
But that's like, let's say that's 15% at fault.
I would say more.
I would say 15. And I would say the rest is the 85. Remaining 85 is my drawing.
No, because I think it affects a lot when you have the angle of the table isn't your same angle. So you have a sort of distortion. So
I always,
it affects a lot more than 15%.
So what usually happens is like, let's say this is me here. Back of my head. This is my festicle head, as we've determined. Festicle doesn't mean anything. It's a festicle.
Mm-hmm.
This is my festicle head. Some nice highlights, glossy highlights on my bald head. That's a really good self-portrait, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you feel?
Yeah.
Let me turn down my phone.
Yeah.
And what happens is that I view the paper like that. So I'm not looking at it straight on. So my paper is, I'm exaggerating. So it's like that. So my proportions are good over here, but in here I tend to stretch them. Like when the paper finally gets to be, you know, this perspective, like usually everything that's up here tends to be way long. So so yeah, that's what usually happens. And I haven't been able to like adjust. So, yeah. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't bug me, but sometimes it surprises me. Like I always feel like I'm going to get used to it, but sometimes it's like it's always surprising regardless. So, mm,
So I think there's not a name for the burger container
no?
because Fernando Samaniego was saying burger receptacle.
Oh no, that sounds
And
like burger receptacle. Could you imagine like going to a McDonald's?
can I have a
I'm sorry, could I have an extra burger
yeah
receptacle?
yeah that's
It's like,
sounds
no,
super weird,
nerd.
yeah. And
Oh,
M4573RM
stop it.
058
Oh, stop it.
says burger transporter.
No,
So
what
I
is
know.
this? That sounds like a movie. That sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, burger box.
Burger
Like that.
box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the burger box.
Yeah. Or paper box cuz for the um potatoes, like the
The French fries?
french fries, yeah. We say paper cup. So you would call that you have there a paper cup, no?
A paper cup?
Yeah.
Well, this is the paper cup.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
So
yeah.
cuz you say paper cup like what it's made of and what it is. So paper cup. So
So
paper
cardboard
box.
paper
Box.
box?
Yeah.
Um,
No?
no, I mean you wouldn't be wrong. She said I thought it I thought it may, you know, it may have had like a again like a proper name, but yeah, maybe it's just boring. It's just the burger box.
M4573RM05H
No más.
dice jajaja Andrés para los cuates. Entonces podemos decir Andrés en vez del username.
Sí. ¿Y de dónde? ¿De México o
No,
M546?
M4573RM05H. Y eso que no estoy leyendo cuáles son minúsculas y cuáles son
No,
mayúsculas.
no más, no más. ¿Cómo es? ¿M qué?
M mayúscula,
M,
4,
sí,
5, 7, 3, R minúscula, ya la embarraste.
R,
M minúscula,
M,
minúscula, sí. 0,
sí.
5 y H minúscula. Ese es el usuario.
Pero entonces no es Mr. Mosh.
Puede ser. Master.
Master
El 4
Mosh.
sería Master.
Master, perdón. Master Mosh.
No, para mí es M4573RM05H.
No, Master Mosh. Master Mosh.
Sí.
Que le gusta plastilina Mosh. No sé. Puede ser muy específico, pero me encantó que dijiste. ¿Cómo se llama esto de escribir letras con números o de sugerir letras con números? Eso tiene que tener
¿Tiene
un
un
nombre.
nombre? A ver,
Sí, no
espera.
empecemos ahora que nada tiene nombres. Ni la caja de hamburguesa, ni las letras con números.
Numeronim.
¿Numeroning?
Pues en inglés es que.
Pues
O
numeroning.
sea, me salió, sí. O numerónimo, debe ser en inglés. No, en
¿Numerónimo?
español, perdón. A ver.
¿Como un homónimo de número?
Ajá. Sí. No, ¿qué? Sí, numerónimo sería. O numerónimo. Sí. Sí, sí,
Muy
sí.
bien, muy bien.
Sí,
Pero me
sí.
encantó cómo lo dijiste. M4573, R minúscula. Fuiste
Pues yo soy
muy...
muy correcta. Si el número,
Sí, fuiste muy notarial tú.
si el usuario es así, pues lo leo como es.
Sí.
Em, sí, Andrés dice alfanumérico.
¿Alfanumérico? No, porque alfanumérico es números y letras, ¿no?
Sí, pero no es usar un número
Exacto,
como si
sí.
fuera una letra.
Alfanumérico es simplemente
Ahí
usar
ya vimos
letras
numerónimo.
numerónimo. Pésimo.
Mm, Darly Abello
Sí.
dice, hola Nicolás, precioso y divina tu pintura.
Hola, Nicolás Precioso.
Sí.
Bueno,
Ah,
pues
precioso.
bueno,
Precioso.
de eso sí. Sí,
Ese
porque
sí.
sí, porque precioso no soy. No, no, no empecemos.
¿Y precioso qué es?
Precioso, sí, es así. Ese piropo sí lo recibo.
Mm, so Atkins was saying burger container. So yeah,
Yeah, I
burger
don't
box,
know.
I
Burger
think.
container.
So I'm gonna Google.
I think like a burger container sounds like a burger silo. Or it would be something like in the shape of a burger.
Mm,
Like one of those old meal things that you would lift, like those lids that you would lift to reveal like the food,
hmm
but then there's a burger inside.
I loved that before we started. You were like, today I'm gonna go like straight
Straight to the
to the
painting?
painting. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I needed to
No,
work
you
this
said
out,
to
I
me
feel. Oh, yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah.
were.
Yeah, yeah. But no. Honestly, this is like just because I'm insecure about my
No,
drawing
no,
and
no.
and
But
I
I wasn't.
feel
I wasn't talking about that. But like those scribbles around.
oh, if you get my mind going, like then I'm always going to go places.
I think you're el brazo de la no, el brazo de la silla está pegándole este. Cuando
Oh,
le
right.
pegas a eso
Okay.
se mueve y se desenfoca.
What about there? No, no, no. No, no
Ahí
creo
ya
que se
no.
desenfoque, pero pues se
Pues
mueve.
se mueve, sí,
Se
no sé.
mueve, se mueve.
Darlia Bello dice, precioso, precioso tú y tus pinturas. Entonces no era
Ush,
precioso, sino
pero
precioso.
está muy amable, muchas gracias.
Liad says, Burger Fortress of Solitude.
Little much, but okay.
Because I'm looking, like I'm Googling, and I don't think it has a name.
But there
It
has to
says
be
Burger Box.
like McDonald's when they're ordering those things, they have to say, "Oh, we need more blah boxes, just
It
boxes."
says Burger Boxes. Burger Box.
Yeah, it's boring. It's a shame. Wasted opportunity, I feel.
But paper cup. I mean, it's
But
also
Paper
burring,
Cup
so.
has like a flow to it.
Mm, I don't know. Um, so Explorer228 says, have you ever used a projector to map your basic lines,
No,
particularly on larger paintings? Do you consider it cheating?
no,
Thanks.
not cheating, but no, no. If anything, I'll just transfer my drawing. You know, so I'll grid it. I'll grid my drawing out, and uh, and I'll transfer it very clumsily.
But
Also
like from your own drawing
from my
to
own drawing.
another
Yeah,
drawing, yeah,
exactly.
not
Yeah,
from image to
yeah. I think both Danny and I are of the same kind of mindset.
mindset, yeah.
Um, that it's you can do anything you want. You really can. To impose restrictions. Oh, I should lower this, Danny, because
But a
yesterday we
tiny bit,
noticed.
not that much.
How's
Because
that?
I don't know, because I'm not
So
listening.
you guys let me know because I noticed that yesterday I was kind of blowing out a little bit my audio. So I lowered my gain a little bit. So as I was saying, I don't think that there's like that there should inherently be restrictions put on art. I really don't. I really, really don't. I'm like a firm believer that you can do anything. You can really do anything. Like if if art is something that is meant to push, then really um you can't impose like boundaries on it. It has natural boundaries, and I'm sure that there are boundaries also set by morals and laws. I mean, so if let's try to think of parameters that are where you work within like legal and moral limits. Um, when you're doing that, you can do whatever you want, whatever you want. I'm like a firm believer that you can work from based on other people's work. You can copy stuff, you can trace stuff, you can project stuff. You can do whatever you want, whatever you want. Uh, the 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 fact that you are exercising that liberty would should never be the reason something is good or bad. Like it really shouldn't. Um, so I believe that. I honestly do, and I'm not speaking for Danny here, but I totally believe that. But and here's like a big but. Uh, Not my butt. My butt would be like a 3-year-old little butt. But but uh, um, if I had my pencil, I would have drawn my little butt, my little
What's
3-year-old butt.
mm-hmm.
Anyways, uh, but as somebody who appreciates the self knowledge, the sense of discovery that comes with drawing, that drawing can allow when you struggle through your drawing, when you curse your drawing, you go to bed thinking that you're the worst draftsperson in this planet. Um, as somebody who has seen those dark days and who every day, every single day, like is reminded of how little I know about drawing, um, I believe that every time you try to make that equation just a little easier to handle or more efficient, because you can always make up excuses of why you're going to just project something just
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to deal with the drawing and you
Yeah,
want to get it over
because
quickly.
because
Because
it's
yes, Danny.
faster to do. No, I
Yeah,
was gonna
exactly.
say yeah.
Because it's faster, because you want to get a likeness down very quickly.
Hmm.
I mean, there's tons of reasons that can be really good reasons for doing it. Um, but I think if you get caught up in just justifying the you know why you're doing it, uh, you're gonna be again you're gonna be fine with whatever you do. It's your choice, your decision. That's totally fine. I always have a problem with people thinking that they know how to draw when they don't.
Yeah,
When
like
that's
thinking they know how to draw when they project things.
right. When, and maybe they drew at some point, but for years, like for 10 years, they've been projecting stuff and they've been convincing themselves, no, 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 I can draw. Like I'm only doing this just because it's quicker for me. But if I had
Hmm.
the time, of course I could draw.
But then
Again,
when they have to draw,
oh
because
yeah,
that's
when
the thing.
yeah, because drawing is super ungrateful. Like you can't just put it on the back burner and think that drawing is going to be there like
Mm,
10 years later.
yeah.
If you don't nurture your drawing, like it's gone. It's going to be completely gone. Um, so I have a problem with people thinking that drawing is easy as cake, and what they do is project. Yeah, that to me just shows a very ignorant person, to be quite honest. Um, so I respect and I enjoy um, all the struggles and all the inefficient qualities that come, with drawing, that are part of drawing, of like a natural discovery, the natural discovery and the natural, kind of progress of struggling through drawing. I much rather be part of that than think that drawing is nothing but like a stubborn little obstacle that it's just there to be quickly overcome. with the aid of like whatever tools you find. Because I think that when drawing becomes that, then drawing becomes seemingly useless. Uh, and there's no value to it because its only purpose is to be accurate. And thinking that the only job that drawing has is accuracy is such a it's such an underselling of the true potential of drawing that it is a crime to think that. I feel so. With that, I feel super super harshly. So I don't appreciate people that have a distorted idea of draftsmanship or draftspersonship when when all they do is just grid or project. That is a tiny, 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 minuscule aspect of drawing, but that's not really drawing, in the larger sense of the idea of that concept. Um, and I don't appreciate it if it's solely seen as um, this thing that encumbers you, and you just have to like solve it very, very quickly, and that's why you want to be efficient or quote unquote professional, which is kind of strange, a strange, very, very strange way to define it. Um, so you just want to have this um, shorthanded idea of clarity. I feel so. Yeah, I think in those two instances, I would say, come on, like that's ridiculous. But I do appreciate that type of drawing. Like Warhol did projected drawings, Andy Warhol, and they're
Mm-hmm.
super cool. But because they are artificial, like they're super artificial, and I think I sense that quality almost like immediately, and I love that quality about them. But yeah, so I much rather um appreciate artists during my life that struggled and searched for to say something through drawing, which I think it's one of the most beautiful tools that we have. So yeah. So summarizing, of course you can use it. It's like there's no way anyone could ever tell you don't use this tool to make art. Like it's ridiculous. That would be absurd. Um, so and again, if you're working within like a moral framework and a legal framework, so I'm not saying that art can be about anything. No, I think there's certain moments where that what art is doing is just wrong. I'm reminding. Do you remember here the show where I think he was from where was he from? Costa Rica. The artist that tied a dog.
No, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. He tied a dog with a chain, and he put some food like pretty far
No,
away.
that's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. That was horrible. It was
No.
absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't from. Where was he from?
Do
From
you want me
El
to Google?
Salvador? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and there was some political subtext to whatever he was doing, but it was horrendous. It was horrendous. Like, in those instances, I'm always like, come on, dude, it's a super easy thing to know right from wrong. Like, you can't invoke the name of art to do anything. That's absurd.
Costa Rica?
Was he? No.
Guillermo Vargas?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, so this was terrible.
No.
Yeah, and the dog was like clearly what's that word? Emaciated. So it was just
What's
very
that?
skinny, like hadn't eaten.
Mm.
So no, 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 it's terrible. I mean, let's not even give the person
No.
like speak about his name, and let's not even show the work. It's just, but this was a work that was part of of some sort of some biennial or something. I
Yeah,
mean, it
it's at
was.
like 2007.
Mm-hmm.
No, 17, was it?
No,
Wait,
no, no, no. This was probably farther back.
wait. Because I just closed the tab. So let me check.
Yeah, but again, those are the moments where I would go, "Oh my god, you're nuts." You can't do that in the name of art. You can't just do anything you want in the name of art.
It was in a gallery in
Hmm.
Nicaragua
Okay,
in
Nicaragua.
2007.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely horrible,
yeah.
horrendous, horrendous. So yeah. So but anything else, like if it's the formal, and if it has to do with the formal aspects of the execution of a painting, oh, go crazy, like go nuts, do whatever you want, whatever you want. But don't, but if you're projecting something, say, oh, I don't care about drawing. Don't even speak about the wonders of drawing. Like, don't do that. Don't. Just say, oh, I don't care about drawing. I just get rid of it very quickly. Like, be honest with yourself and be honest with what you're doing, because that's what's happening, really. So
Yeah, because I think it's complicated sometimes when people project, but they um are like eager to criticize other people's drawing.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
And it's like, because what you're saying, like they, because of the reason they want to have to project, like that's fine. But then you can't try to talk of a process that you haven't had.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you're like skipping a lot of steps to getting to that result.
And steps that take like a lifetime.
And struggle steps.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think that sometimes people get to use projectors and all that stuff because they want to take out time from the equation of learning how to draw.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, art takes time.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. And sometimes people are like, no, I hate the state where I'm in. So I just want to like
skip ahead.
Skip, yeah. Like go ahead in time and know how I would be if I was a good drawer. And then they use a projector. But then they believe they are better drawers. And that's not something that you can interchange with drawing and projecting. So yeah, I think for me, for example, it's a super complicated topic because I think everyone should try at least to get to know their own drawing.
Right, or get to know themselves through drawing.
Yeah.
Through the struggles of drawing.
And also be like super conscious of what they're capable of and what they're capable of only with the help of tools. Because that's also like, you can say you're an amazing drawer. No, well, I don't want to say you can't say, but I think it's not fair when people call themselves amazing drawers, but they can't be that drawers without the help of another instrument. Because it's not like they have to support their drawing in something to get to the results they want. So it's not them. Like it's them with the help of something achieving a good result, but it's not their drawing. So
yeah, I think like super easy way is like, think of Kim Jung-gi or think of James Jean.
Yeah,
like they need a rock.
Yeah,
rock and a sidewalk.
That's what
that's
I
all
say.
you need.
I mean, it's not like, imagine if you admire a lot X painter and you ask them to paint and they're like, no, but I can't, like I can't show what I'm doing because I would need this and this and this and this. I mean, that doesn't talk of real, like pure talent. Because what you're saying, I mean, if you gave James Jean a rock or like a pencil or a chalk and a sidewalk,
yeah, that's all they need.
he would create amazing things.
Yeah.
But when people need those sort of tools to do their art, well, it's not like,
it's not bad, because I'm thinking like, you know what I was thinking, Danny, like in terms of picture making, of like creating
they can
a powerful
create
image,
a super powerful image
for
but
sure.
the thing is that I think that you can't say that you are like, I'm an amazing drawer because I get to these results, because you have to use a lot of variables to get to that.
Right.
So it's not like it's only you who produce that amazing art, but you with the help of something else. And as you say, I mean, there's amazing images created by people that had projected.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So super powerful art can come from that, for sure. But I think that, this is for those of us who have tried and failed constantly, time and time again, and we've searched and searched for this, relationship with drawing throughout years. Because what you were saying, Danny, like art takes time.
Yeah.
We're not really speaking about like the execution of a single piece of art. No,
No, but getting to a
like
result that you're comfortable with also takes time.
yeah, and the path of art, like in the
Yeah.
grand like definition of just um making whatever piece of art that you want to make, like that's your life. That's not going to come easy. That's not going to be quick. That's probably going to take years and years and years of you know um, successes and failures. And I love that, and I know you do too, Danny. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing that can replace
Well, I
that.
hate it while I'm in the struggle,
Oh yeah.
but I would never change a thing of
Yeah.
the process of struggling to get to a result that I really been wanting to be in. Like to see myself and to see what I was before and know all the struggles I had.
Yeah.
Like that makes me super proud. Like,
Oh, you earned it. There's
yeah,
there's nothing like that feeling
exactly.
that you worked for something.
Yeah.
Like you deserve something. You understand yourself because you've seen yourself like in the darkest of lights.
Yeah, and it's been a process. So,
Right,
yeah,
right.
it's like a learning process. And of course, in a learning process, you have a lot of fails. And with drawing and painting, that happens a lot.
Yep.
But people, I don't know why people just, they don't let themselves fail. Like see a bad painting or a bad drawing.
Because it hurts.
Yeah, it
I
hurts.
think
But
the simplest answer is that because you feel
yeah,
like shit. You feel
yeah,
like shit, and nobody who wants to feel like shit. Like nobody. But it's that thing of life where people like avoid painful experiences
yeah,
and avoid discussions, avoid I mean, there is a moment where you have to be healthy, and it's not as if you have to encounter challenges every single day. That can be draining.
yeah,
But I also don't think that the purpose of life is to avoid things that are tough. Like, in life, you're going to have to deal with things that are not cool at some point.
yeah.
You can't avoid those things.
And
And I don't know. I think, in a very, in the microcosm that is drawing, within our lives, I think drawing is just like a perfect little place where you just take time to get to know yourself and
yeah,
get to know yourself through your struggles and through how you like your own sensibility. It's really interesting when you really think about it. It's teaching you about like a super super quick um like equation to understand your perception, like how
yeah.
you shape your perception. So
And how your hand translates
mhm.
what you have in your head. Because
Yeah.
that's sometimes, no, that's always the struggle.
Yeah.
When you're like, ah, but I thought, like, I had this clear image in my head, but this is the result. And with practice and time and fails and success and whatever, but just with time, you get to have like a better translation from your head to your hand. So that's also super cool.
Yeah. And you also understand limitations.
Yeah.
Like I've said this, for example, and I'm putting, people like Carl Kapinski or James Jean,
Mm-hmm.
Esau Andrews. Esau is like one of those people, Danny, because
Mm-hmm.
I studied with him too. Esau is somebody that you give him like a string and like a piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit of string, and
Yeah.
he will do something that blows your mind.
Yeah.
Blows your mind. Like Esau is one of those people that I realized at a very young age. It's like, oh my God, there's geniuses out there that have they don't feel obstacles
Yeah.
like that we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And many times it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do with that? Like that's the question that I would ask myself in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And people that are geniuses, and I think Esau is like an absolute genius. I think they don't ask themselves that question. They're always like excited to say, okay, cool. Like, let me see what I can do with this. So
Yeah,
instead of
but
just
it's
saying,
also because they have the mindset of doing,
yeah,
not like, oh, this is gonna be hard. What can I do to get a better result, like faster? No, they just like go straight to do it and
yeah,
try it and try it and try it until they achieve that level of being absolutely amazing with what they do and with
yeah.
every tool you give them. So,
Yeah. So what I was gonna say, because I lost my train of thought there, but what I was gonna say is that with these geniuses, it's not as if they're constantly getting better and better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Kim Jong-gi from 10 years ago,
Yeah. It's like stable.
yeah,
And it's stable.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
he just got to a place where he's able to use his drawing as a very, very powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that he got better and better and better and better, and when he dies, he's like God level.
Mm-hmm.
No, that I don't think that that happens. I think
No.
that everyone's drawings has limitations. Everyone's. Do you remember the video where we showed that little bit of Kim Jong-gi
Yeah.
saying that he was scared to do a watercolor because he didn't feel like he was gonna do good, like he
Yeah.
was gonna do well. Like he was genuinely like and super. I thought it was almost like super cute
Yeah.
to see him say, "Oh, I don't know how this is gonna go because I'm not good at watercolors."
Yeah, to see that even someone that's so talented struggles
Yeah,
every
and that
time
can
they
get
have to do.
nervous
Yeah.
about something as dumb, if you think about it, as a watercolor,
Yeah.
which is as dumb as a drawing.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. It just
Yeah.
it just
It
showed.
was
And then
super
of course
like human.
right, and he then proceeded to do like an awesome watercolor,
Yeah.
of course. But it was so beautiful to see him be nervous about it, be really nervous about it. And I think that that sense of nervousness, of always knowing that what we do is like super tough, I think that that's part of what is exciting about what we do. The minute that you don't feel that something is tough because you're like, oh, I can project this. This is like cake. Like, who cares?
Mm.
Who cares about my drawing if this is like super super easy? Or who cares about color mixing? I could just use my color picker in Photoshop and then that's it. Like
Mhm.
that's super easy.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care about color mixing. The minute you start to believe, and I think that that's where I'm like nervous, really nervous about this. Or I think that this is the sort of core of this conversation. The minute you start to believe that that's that there is no sense of worth there because it was just like I said at the beginning, like it's just an obstacle. It's just like a dumb obstacle that can be easily
Yeah.
overcome. Then I think you're losing. You're losing
Yeah.
like the sense of what's really really the worth, the value, the wonderful qualities that are actually behind such a like a gorgeously simple but frustrating act of drawing. So yeah,
So let's see what they're
Danny,
saying about
I
the
think we have to. I feel so ashamed.
what?
We're gonna have to maybe do because
What?
I didn't pee before sitting here.
Oh, okay.
Oh
And
my
you're dying.
god.
So
Oh, I
wait.
think I'm dying. This is
So this is gonna
embarrassing.
be a first time in
This is a
our
first, but
painted life.
this is good because we have to do this for our painting marathon, Danny.
Yeah.
So
Hashtag 2080 is
oh,
24.
for God's sake. So it's either this or like a big Gatorade bottle that I pee in.
No, what are you saying?
I don't know. Like
wait,
it's up to
so
you. So let's
you
turn
guys
off.
are gonna no, because I was just gonna move it.
Oh, but you could turn it off so
Okay.
that everyone doesn't get dizzy, like super dizzy.
So
So this will be like a BRB.
yeah.
BRB in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm dying here. I'm like I'm squirming like a 2-year-old.
There you go. Run. And maybe when Nicolas gets back, it's gonna take a little bit until we focus and we reframe everything, but bear with us. So let me see the comments while he's back. So so Marciel was saying true and drawing comes first. Yeah, because as we were saying, I think it's a super valuable process that it's super sad that people think that they can just skip drawing and have the result and that's all. Because as I was saying, art is time and process and struggle and learning from that struggle. So yeah, Elena Godina dice su nombre artístico es... Ah, sí, 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 de la persona que hizo esa muestra horrorosa con el perro. So Nicholas is back. And let's see how long it takes to...
To pee?
No, no,
Like
no.
a minute?
To
No, a
to get
minute? No.
everything in order. A minute.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Sorry about that. But we're super honest here in our painted lives. Our peeing lives. I'm not gonna work till wouldn't you love if you turn on the camera and it's finished? Like the painting is done. It's like magically finished.
No, no se ve.
Oh, you're okay.
Oh, pero...
You could.
A ver, espera un poco rápido. Sigue charlando, yo ahí charlé.
¿Sí? ¿De qué hablaste?
Leí comentarios.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. So, no, I'll speak about this little block-in. It's like formless. Oh, not right. They
Didn't
can't
have
see
an
it.
image.
They can't see it.
Wait.
So.
There you go. I think
Oh,
we're
excellent.
fine. I was super
We're
fast.
fine.
It was like a
Oh
record.
my God, this
It
is gonna
always
be
takes
so
me
easy.
like 30 minutes.
We
but...
needed 30 minutes to pee?
No, no, no. It always takes
Oh.
me 30 minutes to
Not
set...
that old,
to
Danny.
wait, to set
Yeah,
the
come
camera.
on. We said we wouldn't talk about my trip
Nicolás.
to the urologist.
So, do you want me to read a little bit about the comments
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
conversation
Oh, and
we
this
were
was super
having?
easy, by the way, because this is
Yeah.
our test run for the 28th.
Yeah.
So this is good. This is good. Good for me too, to know that I can't drink like 2 full glasses before we start the marathon.
So Liad says,
Yeah.
but I will say this. As I get better at drawing, my
Yeah.
tracing and my projection drawing abilities improve.
Sure.
So even tracing benefits from getting better at drawing.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Because
Yeah.
getting better at drawing benefits everything.
Yeah, sure. And tracing something doesn't mean that you're immediately good at it.
Yeah.
Like I love my sister Kata, but if I gave her a projector, it would be the same thing to like, tying a
Se mueve.
like tying a charcoal to our dog's tail and to tell him to draw. Like Kata wouldn't know what to do with that at all. So yeah, it's a tool, and it's a tool that will be better used if for sure there is somebody who knows what they're doing, on the other end. For sure.
Because you're taking away the decision making in the process. Because when you are drawing, you have to like try to decide what are the angles, the proportions, the distances, everything. But when you're tracing, all the information is there, so you don't have to like doubt
Right.
with the decisions you make while you draw. So
yeah, I understand it. And again, this is not trying to throw shade to the people that do project. I know a bunch of artist painter friends that do that. So this is not about shaming anyone.
No, because we're talking about ourselves. Like
right.
I myself, Daniela Ocampo, I don't like tracing, but that's my path. I mean, I can't talk for others' path because
right. And I've as an instructor, like what I would say that what I never enjoyed encountering was somebody thinking that they had skills when they didn't, and talking about skills when they didn't know what that felt like. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a judge of your skill. No. It's just that, if you haven't gone through that struggle, it's kind of, I'm not saying that this is not a conversation that you can be part of, but like, I don't know, like many
but
things...
you can't judge the same experience because you haven't had that experience.
Right.
So.
And I guess it feels like, I don't know if you've heard this, like armchair quarterback, Danny.
No, I haven't.
So armchair, imagine like somebody in Sunday watching football.
Yeah, I know what...
Oh, okay.
Like just by the words, I know what that means.
Exactly. So it's super easy. Like for me, when I'm watching like Liverpool play,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god, that was so easy. Why don't you
Yeah.
hit the ball? Like fucking hit it,
Yeah.
within the 3 sticks. Come on, it's not
Yeah.
that hard. Oh, come on. Like if
Yeah,
you
but it's
put
not
me
you
when I
in
saw them
that
play, like in
position.
real life,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this level is so
Yeah.
above anything that I will ever experience in my life
Yeah.
that it's almost like know your place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we can all criticize. We can all just say, oh, they suck. What are they doing? But it's one of those things where you're like, come on, dude, if you've never tried to draw, then don't be in those conversations where people are talking about drawing. Like,
Yeah.
don't
Like the
feel
struggle of drawing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying I know this is like a touchy subject matter sometimes, but I just feel like, if people do it just because it's a formal, for example, Norman Rockwell. Norman Rockwell is
Yeah.
one of the biggest illustrators in all of history. He's one of the best 20th artists in the 20th century, for sure. For sure. Like, my mind can easily say those things. Like, Norman Rockwell has to be in the conversation of one of the most talented artists of the 20th century, for sure. Norman Rockwell projected.
Yeah.
Of course he projected.
Yeah, but that's
But this has some context. He had to do post covers every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks he was doing a Saturday evening post cover. He had to be absurdly efficient. And if he didn't have this like projector, oh my God, who cared? Like,
that's
he
what
could
I was
paint
gonna say.
circles around anyone.
But because Rockwell didn't need he used the projector as a tool. But if you took away the projector, he was still an amazing drawer.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
So of course, he can talk about he could talk about drawing.
Right.
So, Will says, I don't like projecting. It might prevent minor mistakes, but in the end, who cares? It's like tracing everything. Explorer 228 says, Cámara Oscura
Right.
is a good example through history. But yes, this painting is very large and mostly about color. Because they were saying it can become a crutch for sure, but I got a deadline sneaking up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. When you have to be efficient about it, I'm reminded of a conversation that Craig Mullins is probably the most famous digital concept artist ever. He's like the grandfather of concept art. He's amazing. He still is incredible, absurdly talented. I think, if I have to be, I know this sounds kind of weird, but if I have to think of artists that pushed Photoshop, it's probably like Dave McKean at its time, and Craig Mullins. Like, I think Photoshop developed alongside those two incredible artists. And there was some years ago, there was this sort of conversation going on because they noticed that Craig Mullins was painting over like a painting. He was doing a digital painting over an existing oil painting, if I'm not mistaken. And they were like, oh my God, look at Craig Mullins's, he's a hack. Look at him. He's painting over a painting and he's not even talking about the painting that's underneath. These are people that have nothing else to do, by the way. But the reality is he had to come out and say, okay, maybe you guys don't really know what concept art is, but the purpose of concept art is not to make like a great image. It's not to make like this museum quality image. Like, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares that like your excuse could not be like, oh, if I had more time, I could have done a better painting. It's like, no. The purpose of concept art is to communicate an idea effectively, very, very, very quickly. We're talking about concept art, conceptual art, not conceptual art, concept art that's, pre-production art for movies, video games, animation, like that sort of concept art. So, he actually told people like, dude, of course I can paint this, and I can paint it so much better, but that's not the point. I have to communicate an idea very, 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 very quickly. and I'll use any tools at my disposal to try to do that. So, like Rockwell, there is like context to these moments where you
Yeah.
genuinely have to be effective, where your whole job is demanding you to be effective. And I guess you could always say, yeah, you could always say, well, who isn't trying to be effective in life and in art, and time is money. And, if you have a show upcoming, if you have an upcoming show, you have to work, you have to crunch and you have to work, a bunch of hours. And if you just want to, if you know that, oh, wow, I would probably be struggling with my drawing for like a week, but if I do this very quickly, I can get rid of this, and I know that I'm capable of doing this, but I can get rid of this very quickly, and I can just get to the painting and just have like, the number of paintings that I already agreed upon with the curator or the gallery director that I was going to have in my show. So what I'm going towards while with saying this is that I'm not saying that those are excuses, but I'm afraid that we can always find excuses. Always, always, always. And sometimes, and many times, they can be very good excuses. Very, very good excuses. And my fear is that those excuses can start to become the norm. That if you start doing it indiscriminately, you start forgetting that the only reason you were doing those things at the beginning were because you needed more time. Like you needed, or you didn't have enough time, I'm sorry, and you just needed that time to be efficient. So we can always call upon efficiency, for those things, but I don't know. I wish, I'm hoping, I hope that this doesn't sound like, oh, they're projecting, witch, burn them at the stake.
No, no,
Like,
of
no,
course
this is
no. Yeah.
nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. I'm just saying that I've seen more than enough times where people, artists get a very distorted idea of the value of drawing, or the real worth of drawing, or they mm, fail to see the complicated, the very, very complicated nature of drawing, and hence the wonderful things that it can teach you, that it can give back to you when sort of taken, or when approached like head on, when attacked head on. Um, Sadly, there seems to be a distortion that takes place where people forget that drawing is very hard. It's very, very hard. Like, it is no mystery that only very few people in history of, making pictures, are extraordinary draftspeople, are like extraordinary draftspeople. So, it's not, this is not a simple thing at all. And we could just say, well, it's so difficult that why go there? Come on, if it's that difficult, let's not even deal with it. Fine, that can be your choice. That's totally fine. And like I said, if if you're an artist that kind of thinks it is about, means justifying the end, where the end is this powerful image, and that's what we were saying with Danny, like, projecting will never ever prevent you from making an incredibly powerful
Yeah.
image. I mean, you can make a very, very powerful image. And I'm going to be honest here, Danny. Like, for example, in terms of image making, I would probably favor, in terms of image making, Danny, so this is not
Mm-hmm.
about process or about drawing's worth. I would favor something that was powerful, that was done with, by projecting, rather than something that was done, clumsily because they were struggling with their drawing and it's not a good image, like it's not a good result. I'd probably favor that image that was powerful,
But
because
not as a teacher.
no, probably not. No, no.
Of course,
Outside
no.
like academic value, like outside, outside trying to not push onto people, but trying to communicate to people the worth, the draw. Like that's what I'm saying. If you take out, if you take not take that out of the conversation, but if you stand like on another shore where you're just judging, powerful images where you don't know the context and it's the first time you encounter something, I like art is also super ungrateful. Like art is not my mother. I used to always say this. Like
No,
my
and that
mother
and
will
it's
always
true.
say, "Oh, it's beautiful, coquito. Like it's so nice." Like she'll see worth in everything. Art is not that way.
Because arts see the like defects and
Right. Yeah.
everything. I mean,
Yeah, if it's a weak image,
and
if it
every
doesn't
struggle you
communicate
have,
something properly, like
yeah.
like you get crucified. It's like, no, this is not good. Period. Period. Like you don't have an opportunity to defend yourself. It's just it's not good and you're done. So I also understand that side of the conversation where you can't justify something that's not powerful by saying, "Oh, but I did it by drawing, like I'm struggling with my drawing and I worked really hard and I've been working for years to try to get my drawing better." And I would just say, "That's great, but you're not there yet. Like you have to keep pushing cuz
No, but
you're not there yet."
I would say they're in a process.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
like they know their limitations and they're trying to work to change or
Right.
to get better and know how to work with what they have.
Right.
So that's super valuable. That's why I asked you, like, not as a teacher, because when you're thinking about learning how to draw or learning how to paint or whatever, it's always super valuable to have that failed results
Oh yeah.
because that that lets you know that you're in a process to get better,
Yeah.
like you're working towards getting better. So
Or towards closer to what you intend
yeah.
to do. It's just that better
No,
and you're
but
right
I'm
and I
not
totally
saying like
understand what you're saying.
better, like a better artist. I'm not saying like a super accurate drawer. No, like
Right, right.
a
The thing is,
better
yeah, but
drawer.
and I think you understand me, but sometimes a lot of people associate better with just, oh, it doesn't look right.
Yeah, but that's why
Oh,
they.
that doesn't look like what is in front of you. Like, your drawing's not good.
Yeah, because you can get better and get super far away
Oh
from
yeah,
what, like the reference you have in
right.
front.
Like
Yeah,
Andrew Cranston, I feel is like
yeah,
an amazing
amazing. Yeah,
draftsperson. Amazing,
yeah,
amazing, and his things are always off.
yeah.
Like always off. I think some of the people that we enjoy probably the most always have like a funky aspect to them. Like there's always something kind of quirky and weird to them.
But it's cool because that's their way of interpreting the world. And that's also super valuable because sometimes when people project, they don't even go far to try to look at things different.
Yeah.
But they just see a cool image and they want to translate that image into a drawing or painting, but they don't put like any touch to that image. They just take that image,
Mm.
project that image, and the image. And that's all. So, yeah. So let me read more comments.
This is like a controversial thing,
Yeah.
though,
No, I know. I
which
know.
is, but I think we're dealing with it okay. Like, and that's why I wanted to say, like, no judgment from our part. We're probably like harsh. I hope we don't sound too harsh, but I think it's because both Danny and I feel that drawing is just wonderful.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful, wonderful, frustrating practice.
Yeah.
Frustrating and unforgiving at times practice. But because of it, I think what you were saying, Danny, like you kind of uncover your own limitations and
Yeah.
you learn to work with your own limitations, and it's super, super cool.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the reason we're opposed to, you know, doing something like projecting or gridding for the sake of efficiency. It's just because we just find so much value in the other part,
Yeah.
and we feel that is getting sacrificed when you decide to overlook it. I think
Yeah.
that's probably where we would stand, where
Yeah,
we
and
would both
also
stand.
I think we both stand in the idea of when people lie to themselves,
Yeah, that's yeah.
because
Nothing good
that's
comes out of that
super
ever.
complicated. Yeah, when they believe they're amazing drawers because they project, that's super complicated, and
Yeah.
that's what we always talk about. Like, it's super sad that they don't give themselves the chance to try and fail
Yeah.
because they just think they have to get a super accurate result, and so they skipped the learning part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's very yeah, that's very true. It's just fear of failure can be oof,
yeah,
can be so debilitating that it
yeah,
can just alter your priorities like immediately. Anyways, I'm sorry I
yeah.
interrupted you,
No, no,
Daniel.
no. I was gonna say that maybe I'm gonna read super quickly the comments.
Sure. Before I have
Mm,
to go to the bathroom again.
ag- again?
No, I'm kidding.
No, no, no. I was gonna say because there are comments about the topic, so maybe I'm not gonna stop in every comment, but just like try to read them all.
Okay.
Elena Godina dice, en mi experiencia, proyectar me ha traído más problemas que beneficios, por eso prefiero dibujar. Las pocas veces que lo usé para un proyecto escolar se distorsionó y de todos modos tuve que corregirlo. Em, Explorer 228 says, depends on the context, I suppose.
Right.
Is is if it is about line that diminishes it, but conceptual maybe. Callum says artists use these tools to put their sketches on massive panels. I think it's a different story to use them to create the initial piece. Um, Robin says use of such a tool should be an important choice to support the intent of the image.
For
For
sure. Yeah. Perfect.
for me, it removes the human hand, the individuality of the artist. Um, Liad said, Danny, I was with you until you said you have to see yourself, and I avoid seeing myself as much as possible. Mirrors are banned in my house. Um, wait. Mm, eh, Liad says, here's a weird thing though.
Go.
I'm not bad at drawing, but I think my painting is better than my drawing. No, and
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
completely possible
Oh
because
yeah, for sure.
I think, I don't know if that's like a thing, but I would say that you sort of use different parts of your brain to paint than to draw. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes I'm struggling with the drawing, but with the painting, as I'm constructing with blocks,
Mm-hmm.
I I get to correct the mistake I was doing, and I wasn't able to do it by line. So I think it's like a different way of thinking. Like, you can understand things different by painting than by drawing. I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah, yeah. I think you've seen me a ton of times struggle with line work, for example, that we associate. I mean, this is a very formal,
Yeah.
kind of simple way of understanding drawing, but sometimes I struggle quite a lot with my line work, and then when I start painting, it just feels so much more natural to me, like the how I find my way, and they're both drawing tools in that sense, but just the fact that my tools are like my actual tools are different. It does change my mindset. It does change entirely my mindset. So I just think that I mean, we would have to get into a larger conversation about how to define drawing or what things are intrinsically natural to drawing and what things are, you know, what things belong to the act of painting, and where if there is a moment where they share certain qualities.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's a whole other conversation that's a little
Mm-hmm.
complicated, but we could probably talk about that some other time. Just trying like a more of a mental exercise, like trying to see if we could brainstorm like what things are inherent to drawing and what things belong to painting and where they meet. I think that those are super cool exercises to I don't think they're determining factors. I don't think that's like we would be able to define with precision what is drawing, what is painting, as opposed to what is painting, because I think that ultimately they overlap in many many aspects, but it's an interesting exercise.
Yeah. So Marciel says, I'm just painting for 8 years on and off, but drawing I do all my life. And it helped a lot, I think. I see lines first, lines and alignments, even though painting is in patches. Explorer 228 was asking when is the marathon. So for that, we created an
Oh
amazing
god,
hashtag for you
oh
to
my
remember,
lord.
which is hashtag
We
28 is 24. So the 28 is 24 hours painting. So you can join us December 28 since 8 a.m.
I don't know, you're
until
the one that created the hashtag, so yeah, 8
until
a.m.
the 29
Yep.
8 a.m.
Yeah,
So
so we're going 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. starting December 28th.
yeah.
What day is that, Danny? Could you remind me?
Hashtag
Tuesday? No,
28
no.
is 24. So
Day.
the
What day of the
28,
week? What
24
weekday?
hours.
If it is a weekday, because I don't even know. It's a
Let's see.
Tuesday? Is it?
Let's see, because I don't know.
I haven't even
Mm,
looked either.
so the 28 is Tuesday.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting closer.
Mm,
Oh, it's 1 week from now.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a little too real now.
Less than a week, because
Oh,
today's
today's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck me.
Yeah. But we got ourselves into this. So
Yeah.
we have to do it. So mm, let's see. Mm, so Daniel MC was saying, I don't have to have open windows while I paint with oils if I'm just using the paint and a paper towel to clean the paint of the brushes, right?
You're fine.
It
You
is
only.
winter here and cold, so window open is scary.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You only need to have ventilation when you're using solvents. And for example, a bunch of mediums, pre-mixed mediums, have solvent in them. When you see something that is, for example, like a varnish that has solvent in it. So if you're just using paint, no, well, with most paint, because there is paint that is ground in alkyd medium, some paint. So let's say if you're just using traditional oil paints, they are oil paint and they are oil, pigment, and filler in most cases. So you don't, none of those need ventilation. You just need to wash your hands when you're done.
Mm, JP says projecting is a great way of getting in shapes quickly and blocking in areas. Projectors can be messed with to create distorted images that may inspire an artist.
Sure.
It's a tool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a tool.
Mm, so, of course, Rosalind always has my back
Oh,
and
Jesus
is
Christ.
saying hashtag 28 is 24.
Oh, God.
And
You should do 24 hours with Rosalind.
Rosalind is going to be here. I don't know if the 24
I'll
hours.
let you guys be. I'll give you some space. I'll give you guys some space if you want.
Why are you so against the 28 is
No,
24?
no. It's just that I hate it. I
Chris,
don't. I'm pushing the bit. Don't worry.
Cristian dice, es súper chévere para nosotros, pero pesadísimo para ustedes. ¿Será solo pintura o en general un día con ustedes?
Wow, yo
No, va a
creo
ser
que es
pintura.
pintar. Sí, porque es que.
Lo que pasa es que también no lo habían preguntado la vez pasada, como, no, a la hora del almuerzo lleven la cámara a la cocina
¿Y
y
ya
se
almorzamos
muestran
todos?
almorzando, sí. Sí, porque
No,
eso lo
no.
habían dicho, pero, pues primero,
Todo
la
bien,
idea
pero
es,
friki.
no, la idea es como mostrar 24 horas pintando.
Sí, sí, es que.
No, iba a decir, perdón, y ya te
Dale,
dejo
dale,
hablar.
dale.
Segundo,
Déjame hablar, por favor.
tenemos, o sea, para poder hacer la transmisión tenemos que tener conectadas las cámaras, entonces no es como que podamos andar con la cámara para todo lado porque pues el cable no da.
Sí, o tendríamos que cambiar como a un setup de un portátil
Sí,
y no
no.
es tan fácil.
Y tercero, yo
Tocaría
creo
cambiar a
que
Wi-Fi. No, sería
sí.
extraño,
No,
difícil.
y tercero, yo creo que como la idea de nosotros del canal no es tanto como si fuera un vlog,
Sí,
sino que es de pintura.
sí. Hola, vamos a estar en una piscina de bolas.
No, que estaría perfecto para otro tipo de contenido, pero yo creo que nosotros no, yo ni siquiera
Hasta ahora
sabría
no.
cómo hablarle a una cámara así. O sea,
Hola, muchachos. Acuérdate que tenemos
¿y
que
por qué
comprar
hablaría
la...
así?
Porque eventualmente se va a degenerar a un canal de ASMR. Entonces
¿Qué
tenemos que comprar
hablas?
el micrófono de oreja.
¿Y pintas la oreja?
No.
¿Va a ser hora de pintar la oreja?
Sí, te pinto a ti hablándole a la oreja.
No, no.
La pintura
Pero
más
sí,
vista.
no, va a ser pintura. Hashtag 28 es 24 en
Suena
español.
peor en español.
O si quieren usarlo en inglés, bienvenidos. Si nos acompañan y nos quieren mostrar lo que están haciendo, o como yo decía ayer, también sería chévere si nos quieren mostrar que nos están acompañando. Vamos a estar revisando redes para mirar quién está usando el hashtag. Nicolás se está riendo,
Sí,
no sé
no,
por qué.
con cara de ponquillo acá.
Yeah, so, mm, eh,
Es que iba a decir que
¿qué?
algún día molestando me pregunté cuál era
¿Algún días dijiste?
algún día, un
¿Algún días
día,
molestando?
sí, empecemos otra vez. Hola, Dani.
Hola,
Un día
bienvenidos.
molestando, por pura curiosidad esa mía que es como estúpida, me pregunté cuál era el récord Guinness de pintar como el mayor tiempo seguido.
Ujú.
Y yo pensaba que tenía que ser como casi dos
Pero
días
espera,
o...
contextualiza esto porque esto fue algo que te pasó a las 4 de la mañana
Sí, pues
y
donde...
googleaste a las 4 de la
Sí,
mañana y me trataste de contar a las 4 de la
los
mañana que
momentos donde
querías
soy,
hacer un récord Guinness.
los momentos donde claramente soy más lúcido.
No, y
¿Es
yo
ahí
decía,
o en la
déjeme
ducha?
dormir.
Sí, esos son
¿Qué
mis dos
está
momentos del
diciendo?
día. Las decisiones más importantes de
No,
mi vida siempre son en la madrugada o en la ducha.
sí, pero
Entonces,
bueno.
me pregunté, tenía mucha curiosidad, no porque yo sintiera que tengo la capacidad como de romper un récord que la verdad, o sea, no sirven para nada. ¿A quién le importan esos récords estúpidos? A mí. Pero me pregunté acerca de cuánto, o sea, cuánto es lo que más ha durado una persona trabajando y me sorprendí porque es como, no sé, casi 4 días,
Es
¿es que es?
60 horas.
Sí, qué
Que tú
barbaridad, por
decías, no, y
Dios,
tú decías, mira,
Dios
hacemos
mío.
48 horas y rompemos el récord, que yo
No,
igual
son
decía,
2 días y medio,
pero
el tercer
48 horas
día.
despierta, yo no puedo
Al
igual.
tercer día, según las escrituras, ¿quién va a pintar 3 días seguidos? No, eso sí es una, o sea, eso ya es una locura. Entonces, pero me quedó como la, como esa idea en la cabeza de, ay, pues obviamente uno no, yo no, yo personalmente yo nunca voy a tener la capacidad para estar despierto 3 días, eh, pero pues un día pintando, sí, eso sí creo que está como a mi alcance.
Pero el día siguiente va a ser solo descanso.
No, al otro día hay our tired
No,
lives,
no va a ver qué
our
tal.
pajama lives.
No, no, no. No, el otro día sí yo no me voy a levantar.
No, pues tú,
No, por eso no.
la disculpa para no levantarse, te
De ahí
dieron
al
la
treinta y
disculpa
uno no me
perfecta.
molesten,
Sí,
sí.
el 31 del 2023.
Sí, no. Pero sí, y entonces tú primero planteaste hacerlo el 31. Yo dije no. Eh,
Ah, sí, esto todo era también fue porque yo dije molestando. Ay, pues pintemos el 31, hagamos
pero dijiste pintemos 24 horas el 31 para recibir el nuevo
No,
año.
no, 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 creo que yo dije como recibamos el año ahí pintando, como, ay, hagamos una maratón de pinturita y hacemos, ay, feliz año,
Pero no,
pero no, porque pues hay responsabilidades
familiares.
familiares sociales. Entonces, no sé, se me ocurrió un día decir, pues hagamos todo un día pintando, a ver
Y
qué.
decidimos el 28.
Sí,
Entonces, bienvenidos todos a acompañarnos, si
a ver el
quieren.
fracaso, el potencial fracaso que va a ser esto.
Sí.
Pero interesante, va a ser chévere.
No, tu cara, me imagino tu cara
Sí,
contra
yo la
la...
cámara la necesito apagar, yo creo por momentos.
Ah, bueno, porque es que conseguimos
No,
otra, tenemos ya
no,
dos
pero
webcams para que nos puedan ver mientras está la transmisión.
sí, yo creo que yo no voy a ser
Nos
como
vean
muy
degenerándonos,
atractivo.
oye, sí, vamos a pasar,
O sea,
o sea, el peor
quien,
momento de
quien
nosotros
me
va a estar en
dijo
cámara.
precioso, yo creo que voy a cambiar rápido la opinión de esa persona con mi...
Va a denunciar el canal
Sí, yo voy a
después de
aparecer...
verte.
No, no, no.
No, ¿y a mí
Una
qué?
lechona, una lechona cansada. Voy a aparecer en como la hora 20. Yo creo que no va a ser un momento digno para mí.
No, va para mí desde la hora 8.
Sí, no.
Sí, no.
Complicado, complicado.
So, Callum says, no painting today, packing for the holidays, but looks
Nice.
like travel is really messed up in the UK at the moment.
Oh,
From
I'm
my
sorry.
least favorite transformer, Omicron.
Oh,
Ay,
where are you going? Where you headed? Where's your family at, Callum? Or I mean I'm
you're
forgive me
assuming
if I'm
they're traveling with
thinking
family, yeah.
that you're going to family, but where are you headed?
Okay, I think maybe you can do this.
No, because then,
Okay,
well, no,
better?
no, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, if I'm hitting the table quite a bit, it's because this is higher than usual. Well, it's not higher, but I'm painting in a higher area than usual. So I'm tending to just try to get closer to the image.
No, but now it's perfect.
And
Look.
if I try to get closer to the image, then I hit the table with the arms of the chair. So I apologize.
No, but look. Now it's perfect
Okay.
because it's a little bit down. So, mm, Liet says, why the 28th?
Oh, it was just a
Why
date.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Because it sounds super good
yeah,
with for the hashtag.
yeah, of
28 is
course.
24.
Of course. Jesús de la Osa pregunta, ¿cómo acostumbran a pasar el 24 y el 31?
Yo, el 24, si quieres, yo empiezo.
Ujú.
24, pues para mí, digamos, históricamente incluso lo asocio mucho en casa de mi mamá. En casa de
Ujú.
mi mamá, para mí es como de esas tradiciones súper, súper importantes. Yo creo que Navidad en casa Uribe Beninghoff era como de las fechas más bonitas de todo el año. Entonces todavía trato de mantener eso, pues mi papá ya no vive, mi hermano estaba por fuera, entonces somos 4 hermanos que nos reunimos con mi mamá, que a mi mamá además pues adora la Navidad,
Sí,
adora, o sea, mi mamá creo que está viva solo para disfrutar de la Navidad.
sí, le fascina.
Entonces, sí, sabemos lo que significa para ella, entonces, y para pues todos los nietos.
Sí,
Entonces, pues creo que todos nosotros hacemos un esfuerzo grande por tratar de pasar Navidad con la Olguis.
sí, entonces ustedes siempre se reúnen para el 24 con la mamá de Nicolás, todos los hermanos, pues los hermanos que viven en Colombia y los nietos.
¿Sí?
Y yo estoy un rato con ellos. No, estoy primero un rato con mi familia.
Sí, tú
Eh,
decides cómo sea
sí,
más,
no, creo que
más
así va a
práctico
ser el
para ti.
orden. Sí, porque quiero pasar tiempo con mi primito,
Sí,
que es chiquitico, tiene 4 años. Y me encanta como el momento de abrir regalos,
sí, es que
que no
Navidad
había un
para un
niño en
niño
mi
es...
familia hace muchísimo tiempo, entonces me emociona mucho eso. Y pues él abre los regalos, yo creo que antes de las 12.
Sí, seguro, un niño.
Y sí, no, pero él
Sí.
tiene energía hasta las 6 del,
Hasta las... ¿Cómo es la...
hasta las 15.
hasta las
Hasta
15
las
de la
15.
mañana?
Sí, no, pero entonces yo voy a pasar un rato donde mis abuelos maternos
Ujú.
con también eh, el hermano de mi papá, o sea, con todos mis tíos de la familia materna, mis primos, y con mi tío de la familia paterna que vive acá.
Con todas tus tías de la
Mis tías,
familia.
sí.
Sí, es que te fuiste
Y
por tíos
con,
y en realidad son todas
sí,
tías.
y con mi tío que vive acá en Bogotá. Entonces vamos a estar todos reunidos. Y después de medianoche me iré a la casa de Olguita
Polguis.
a repetir comida
¡Yo eso!
a mi segunda cena navideña y ya, y después a devolvernos acá a la
Aquí,
casa.
sí.
Y el 31 lo pasamos normalmente con mi familia.
Sí.
Entonces Nicolás me acompaña a la casa de, sea donde mis abuelos, donde mis tíos o donde sea que lo celebremos. Y ya, esos son nuestros 24 y 31.
Viva Colombia.
¿Viva Colombia? Sí, no. Nunca hemos
Viaja por
viajado
ella.
para fin de año.
No, nosotros no.
Sí,
No.
algún día,
Sí, sí.
pero sí. Eh,
¿A ti te gusta más Año Nuevo o Navidad?
¿Qué? ¿En qué sentido?
Pues
Viajar en
como
cualquier
fe.
momento,
No, no, pues yo sé, sí. El martes.
todo el año.
Sí. No,
Em,
como fecha, como festivo.
el 24,
A mí también. A mí
sí,
Año Nuevo, no, no me importa tanto, la verdad.
sí. No, para mí el 24 es muy chévere estar con, como que en mi cabeza es chévere compartir con mi familia y todos mis seres queridos.
Sí. O sea, yo he pasado 24 es que no llego a la medianoche. Me
¿Sí?
duermo antes.
Sí, no. No, yo
¿Sí?
sí,
¿Siempre?
sí, en mi casa, porque es que además normalmente em, se calcula, como que calculan para empezar la novena,
La novena.
la
Ah, el
novena,
24.
sí.
Ah, no, 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 yo estoy hablando de Año Nuevo.
Ah, es que diste el
Ah,
24,
dije
yo
el
no he llegado,
24.
sí.
Ah, no, no, no. No, el Año Nuevo. Yo hay veces digo,
Ah, no, yo sí,
como,
¿cómo
no,
así? Y tú sabes que yo salgo a dar la
no, sí,
vuelta a
sí,
la...
no. Y nosotros,
Incluso, espera, porque estoy pensando, cuando mis abuelos paternos vivían todavía en el valle,
sí,
nosotros íbamos allá mucho a pasar fin de año, incluso
sí,
con toda la familia de mi mamá.
sí,
Y era súper chévere porque allá había año viejo.
sí.
O sea, pasarlo en un pueblo es muy
Muy
distinto.
chévere, sí, sí. Muy
Entonces
bien.
hacíamos todas las tradiciones siempre. Siempre
Sí,
es las 12 uvas, el
sí.
año viejo, darle la vuelta a la manzana con la maleta,
Dar la vuelta al pueblo.
todo. O sea, yo siempre hago todo. Incluso yo te conté que cuando estuve con mi hermana y con la amiga de mi hermana en Chicago,
Ujú.
en nieve así frío terrible y a medianoche nosotros como buenas colombianas nos salimos con maleta a darle vuelta a la manzana. Obviamente nos
Mm.
devolvimos con los pulmones sangrando del frío tan horroroso, pero
Y les llamaron la policía. Pensaron que estaban robándose una maleta.
sí, no, pero sí.
No, pues obvio, yo también he durado ahí, pero ha habido años donde hay veces, no sé, por cualquier razón, es como, uy,
Pero este vas a durar y vamos a dar la vueltica a la manzana,
el año
loquito.
pasado lo hicimos y
Sí,
sí, me ardieron los pulmones.
sí, es que uno cree que no y la cuadra es grande.
La cuadra es
Uy,
una cuadra.
no, cuadrota. Para mí es larguísima,
Sí.
larguísima, pero sí. Em,
Gracias, Dani,
de-
por el informe.
eh, Tintin Rosales says happy
Hey,
holidays,
Tintin, missing
Nicolas
you.
and Danny.
Happy
Happy
holidays to you
holidays to you
too.
too.
Missing you, missing you.
Callum says going to see my family. They live in New York, but I've not seen them since they moved from Scotland.
Oh, wow.
And was it how how long ago did they move from Scotland to New York? If you don't mind me asking. Oh no, they live in York.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say New
York.
York.
Yeah, York,
Wow,
York,
that's a
York,
trip.
York, York. Not New
I mean,
York.
there are Scots in New York, but I'm guessing there's more Irish in New York than Scots.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm, eh,
I'm gonna sneeze.
Jean, sneeze. Don't worry. Bless you.
Oh, sorry.
Salud. Eh,
Gracias.
Jean Rusin says, since the 24-hour session is on Tuesday, will it be in Spanish? Dios mío.
Todo.
No, remember we're all the streams from now on are
Are
gonna be
polylingual.
polylingual,
I don't know.
multilingual, maybe.
Multilingual. But poly could
Yeah.
work, no?
Like if you want to speak in Spanish, go ahead. If you want to speak in English, go ahead. If you want to speak in French, go ahead. Even
Oh,
though we're
merci,
not.
merci.
Nah, you messed my joke. I was gonna say, go ahead, even though we're not gonna understand what you're saying, but feel free to speak in the language you want.
Thank you.
Danielle MC says, my job needs me to write up a curriculum for teaching kids to draw, and they need it to be tomorrow. I want to paint. I will try using oils tonight in honor of our painted lives.
Nice. Thank you.
Rosalind
And
says,
good luck on that. What I understand is like a possible job teaching kids. So good luck on that.
Rosalind says, my Spanish is getting better. Un poco.
Un poco. Un poquito.
Type something in Spanish, Rosalind, without cheating.
28 es 24 hashtag.
So Callum says maybe like a year ago or so.
I'm sorry, I got lost. Maybe
what
happened a year ago?
When their family moved to.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce. I think someone told me how to pronounce the name.
Go for it.
No, because it's not in. I think it's a
Russian
name. Yeah.
It's in Cyrillic.
Yeah. But they're saying, I don't understand a word, but what an interesting and beautiful language.
Thank you.
Maybe
it's Anastasia? Spanish? Maybe? I remember somebody.
Yeah.
Was it Anastasia?
I thought the same name, but I didn't want to mess the
So we could ask if they are Anastasia.
Yeah. You can say your name, maybe how you would write it in English or Spanish.
Or Anastasia. That's my Russian
and why you do like this?
Well, Russians, I mean, it's my stereotypical Russian forced accent.
Lázaro Olier says Danielita. Danielita. Jean says French it is. Callum says, me gustaría ir a la biblioteca con mis amigos porque es más divertido. Okay.
What?
So I think Callum's trying to show off with their Spanish.
His translating skills. His translating library.
So the Russian name is Alexander Smirnov, but you can call it like you wanna.
Almost.
So yeah, Alexander.
No, but then Alexander is different from, because I remember the person that we were making reference. It was a female name.
But
do you remember?
But someone else said how to pronounce, so maybe they were wrong. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe they no, because it wasn't the Russian person who said my name is blah, but someone said I think it's.
Or maybe you just put it through Google Translate and that's it.
Liad says, Danny, don't let random people type in chat in any language. Trolls take advantage of that and say horrible things or spam things.
Oh, yeah. That's also true.
Yeah, but the good thing is that YouTube has like a sort of algorithm that blocks language.
Even in different languages, yeah.
No, like bad language.
Yeah. Bad language, even if it's not, even in other languages. So
yeah. Rosalind says Dani is muy bonita. Oh, that's so nice.
Is. Thank you.
Yeah, but the only thing is S, so it's E and S, not is, but
so it would be Dani S.
Dani S. Yeah, Danny es, no.
Danny
Danny es,
es
sí.
muy
Danny
bonita.
es muy, sí, no sé por qué
Mucho
pronuncia así.
bonito.
Um, Jan says, I understand that the project has to end. You both are troopers and so generous, but I have appreciated the daily amusing and safe company for painting during the pandemic. Yeah, but no, Jen, because we're going to modify
It's gonna
the dynamic
change.
of our project, but it's not going to end. So
I mean, it ends.
it's like a symbolic end to the Our Painted Lives initial project, which was meant to be for 2 years. But next year, and we don't know for how long,
Ever
forever maybe. Let's
and
hope.
ever and ever.
We're gonna do live streams.
Was that like a Taylor Swift? Forever and ever and ever. No.
No, we're
No.
never, ever, ever
Oh, I don't know.
getting back together. Maybe that's the
Maybe I
one
was
you were
thinking
thinking
that.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showing
No,
my
but I was
Taylor
saying,
Swift skills.
that we're gonna be here for
Ever.
live sessions, and Nicolas would be painting in different formats, but
Yeah.
we're still gonna be here, not Monday through Friday, but still you're gonna have a lot of Nicolas and Daniela.
Super
So
tired of me.
yeah, and also we're gonna have
Not of
the
Danny.
visual correspondency. So we'll be happy
Correspondence.
correspondence. Sorry.
No, no,
So
no.
we'll be happy if you can join us next year. Um. So Alexander says, "I'm always I'm always think YouTube translate channel names like mine on default."
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm, Column says, I have an A in GCSE Spanish, so basically a native.
Oh, nice.
So, Callum, you should try today to just comment in Spanish.
Oh, he can.
Interact with us in Spanish so you can show off your
He'll just
A.
turn his default language to Spanish. That's so easy for him.
Yeah, Rosalind was saying, Callum, what? You are a robot.
Yeah.
Mm, Daniel MC dice, cuando fui a Scotland no encontré a nadie quien pudo hablar español, pero mi
Yeah.
amigo sabe un poco de alemán. Sí, yo no sé, sí,
En Escocia sí,
sí,
yo creo que es muy
difícil.
complejo.
Pero bueno, uno se sorprende.
Tiene que haber un paisa.
Eh,
Siempre hay.
William Felipe dice, hola, Dani, ¿el otro año vas a usar Procreate para hacer tus obras? No, creo.
Digitales
No,
no,
la
creo
verdad
que
no
vamos
creo.
a hacer tradicional
Sí,
siempre.
sí. Pues no, o sea, nunca diga uno nunca, ¿no?
Nunca
Pero,
diga uno nunca.
¿sí me entiende? No, pero no, no creo. Em, sí, papel, lápiz o papel,
Tradicional.
pintura,
Tijeras, crayola,
tijeras, crayola,
pegastick,
cinta, eh, esculturitas de pronto,
témperas,
témperas, eh,
clips,
todo,
palitos de
sí,
paleta.
cauchitos,
Mm.
todo, todo. Em, William Felipe dice, ¿por qué? Y una carita triste. Porque la verdad yo nunca he utilizado Procreate. Creo que me parece súper chévere, pero la verdad me gusta más, ¿cómo digo? Como las cosas no digitales, como digo eso, como...
Pues suena charro decir tradicional, pero
Pero sí, o sea, a mí me encanta como la experiencia sensorial de pintar con, sea pintura o gouache o lo que sea. Me, me siento más cómoda así.
como que nos interesa que también puedan entenderse como objetos, creo.
Ujú,
O sea,
sí,
que los dos...
que finalicemos con un objeto, sí.
Exacto.
Eh,
Pero es una... Yo creo que es como una opción, o sea, es una decisión que tomamos, pero no es porque estemos en contra de lo otro, sino que...
no, incluso diría que es que tampoco sé utilizar la herramienta. O sea, yo tengo Procreate para como o sea, yo lo utilizo al 1% porque lo utilizo para hacer los textos de los thumbnails, lo utilizaba para las gráficas de los videos y se acabó. O sea, no, yo no sabría, si alguien me dice, enséñeme a usar Procreate, no, no tengo ni idea, enséñenme a mí.
Le
Sí,
pasó el curso de doméstica que
sí, no, enséñenme a mí porque no, yo no lo sé usar. Entonces sí, es más como que no estamos muy familiarizados con la herramienta y que preferimos de pronto otros medios de creación. No sé, ya estoy hablando
mm,
bobadas.
gracias, Miss Guainía.
William Felipe dice, ah, ok, ok, ok. Pensé que sí usabas. No, no, no. Beshria says, it's true, you've got to be a robot to column. And they're saying, it's hard enough keeping my Bangla and English in check. Mm, do you know any word in another language that's not like Italian, Spanish, English, French, Nicolas?
No, like,
Portuguese also?
no, like,
Like,
like, Bethria that was saying her Bangladesh.
yeah,
I'm guessing. No, in Bangladesh, I don't. No, no. Feel bad
yeah.
because in New York, I'm sure I heard people, speaking Bangladesh, but no, no, I don't have that in my memory banks, which is
Mm,
metaphorical, but for Callum, it's literal.
because I was thinking, and
Uh
I
huh.
think the first thing I learned how to say in Italian,
It's cursing. Pafanculo.
no, what?
Oh, sorry.
Was vietato fumare. Because
Okay,
I don't
that's
know if you remember, but uh, old buses here
uh huh.
had like it looked like an undie where
What?
you put your head in the
What?
chair. You know what I'm talking about, like the head protector, but it looked like a big underwear.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
wait, cause and it said no smoking, prohibido
In different
fumar,
languages.
vietato fumare.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why I'm saying this, but
No, go with it. I don't know where you wanted to go with that, but please.
eh, ¿será que si uno busca así ¿le aparece? Cabeza. A ver.
Como un protector de silla de buceta o algo
Sí,
así.
por eso.
Protector cabecero, buceta.
Escribí protector, silla, bus, cabeza.
Sí, que eran horribles además.
Sí, pero era como, pues parecía un calzón.
Pues
100%. O
un,
sea,
eh, un, un interior.
eh, y ahora no va a estar en internet, no molesten. ¿Colombia? ¿Será que eso era muy de acá? Ay, a ver, cabeza.
No, Dani, te fuiste.
Sí,
Te estás.
hace rato.
Sí, sí.
Bueno, pero sí. No, es que lo quería mostrar porque, pues yo diciendo que como un calzoncillo en la silla,
No, así
creo
son
que
los
la
buses de
gente,
Colombia, sí. Tienen calzoncillos en las sillas.
además
La
lo
gente
dije en
lleva la ropa
inglés y la
sucia.
gente, ¿qué?
La gente lleva la ropa sucia y la cuelga en las
Pero
sillas.
mira, William Felipe dice, jaja, sí, el calzoncillo de la flota. Y Pablo Rojas dice, jajaja, yo también recuerdo lo de los buses viejos en Bogotá, vietato fumare, calzón de luchador de sumo. Sí, es que era en forma de
Pues
calzón.
sí, sí, porque es un trapito
Pero y
para la...
tiene como donde uno mete las piernas, porque tenía donde sale como la curva de los lados de la
Pero,
cabeza.
pero yo no creo que es que hayan utilizado lo que antes era un calzón,
Y
como y
espera,
después dijeron,
no, pues obvio
¿sabe para qué
no.
debe servir
No,
esto?
pues no es calzón reusado, obviamente no, pero
Sí,
tenía forma de calzón. Y me acuerdo, lo voy a pronunciar súper mal,
no, mándate.
pero decía como algo como Bitch needs to rauschen, algo así, que
No
era de, te
empieces.
lo juro, espérate.
O sea, tú estás convencida que vas a encontrar el calzón buceta, distintos idiomas.
No, no, no. O sea, lo de prohibido fumar también estaba en alemán, supongo. Eh, a ver,
Pues busca cómo se dice
eso,
prohibido fumar en alemán,
eso
a
estoy
ver si te
haciendo.
suena igual.
Eso estoy haciendo.
Sí.
Yo te digo que es como Bitch needs to rauschen, creo que es.
Beach de Rauschen, listo. Vamos a ver.
Algo así. A ver, espérate. Prohibido fumar.
Vamos a ver cómo es esa
No, pero acá
memoria.
dice Rauschen verboten. Pero no.
Pero
Si
le
ves que es
atinaste al
Rauschen,
Rauschen.
sí.
¡Wow!
Eh,
No me esperaba que le atinaras a una sola de esas.
espérate. No, Me fui. Me fui yo con todas estas.
Sí, gracias. Me quedan además en las cookies de mi computador, gracias.
A ver, es que era. Sí, sí, estoy Rauschen.
Pero
Estoy
ya,
segura.
ya te deberías sentir orgullosa que ya, o sea, comprobaste que sí.
Sí, pues es que lo sabía.
Ay,
Yo
no,
sabía.
oigan
Lo sabía.
la germana.
Y todo gracias a un calzón de una flota, Nicolás.
Eso.
Em,
Chévere que llegaras a Alemania y explicaras por qué.
sí.
Pero tú hablas súper bien. ¿Cómo?
Todo comenzó
¿Cómo por allá
en una
en
flota.
Colombia, en ese pueblo? ¿Cómo llegaste?
Em, Ay, mira, Pablo Rojas dice, busca buses viejos de Bogotá, Vietato Fumare y sale una foto. ¿Ves? La gente acá en Colombia aprendió bastantes idiomas gracias a el calzón. Decir no prohibido fumar en bastantes idiomas.
Súper útil.
No fume. Ah, mira.
A ver,
Bueno, este está un poco horroroso.
pues es que calzón de
Mira.
flota.
Pero es que además no se ve.
No smoking, vietato fumare, Shirley.
Cherluta fumate.
Uy, ese.
Defense de fumer. Suena como el nombre de un perfume.
Porros Lagos, mira, tiene teléfono. ¿Por qué no marcas ya? 480
Ay, no.
81 80. Alguien en Bogotá.
Cojinería. Mira, forros de cojinería bus. A ver, espera.
Alguien, por favor, marca 480 81 85. Forros Lagos, nos dice si existen, por favor. ¿Todavía?
Ay, porque este es como más moderno, mira.
Oye, pero yo que me crié en bus, Danielira.
Ujú. ¿Nunca viste el...?
Así que yo viera alemanes, rusos, franceses,
No, pero
yendo
hay
a,
que darle a... Hay que
sí,
apuntarle a todo
cogiendo
público.
el gaitana, no sé,
No, y estos incluso yo los vi desde el bus del colegio. O sea, el bus de mi colegio tenía eso en la cabeza. Em,
pero así que uno dijera, ay, juepucha.
y William Felipe dice sí, y además estaba cubierto con plástico,
No,
jajaja.
pues
Sí, porque
claro.
después le pusieron plástico que yo no había pensado y pues qué asco uno la
Uy,
cabeza en ese calzón
pues sí, pero también cuando el plástico
y el
estaba
plástico. Uy,
sudado como,
no,
sudado como
uy,
ventana
no,
cuando
chao,
llovía. Uy, no.
no.
Pues
Eh,
igual yo me acostaba, a mí nunca me dieron asco los buses. Tú sabes, la
eh,
gente que no se sentaba de una, sino que dejaba orear la silla para antes de sentarse.
sí,
Yo siempre me sentaba de una.
en silla caliente.
Sí, yo decía, no, pues me la tuvieron ahí caliente, chévere.
Bueno, sí, no, yo no.
Encima del pedo ahí.
Sí, no.
Nunca me
Em,
dio asco eso.
Sergio Beltrán dice, jajaja, ingeniería colombiana. La NASA sigue buscando al colombiano que se le ocurrió tan
Mm.
maravillosa idea. Eh, no, guacala. William Felipe dice, jajaja, le quedaba la manchita de grasa en el plástico.
Sí, siempre había
No.
mancha de grasa en el
Y
plástico.
los plásticos terminaban amarillos, como todos
Pero tornados por
asoleados,
el sol,
todos
sí, pero
vencidos. Uy, no.
eso era más la calidad del plástico cuando les daba el sol,
Uy,
sí.
no. Pero igual, o sea, eso sumaba a que se viera un poquito más desagradable.
O que alguien le fumó encima.
Eh, Jean Rusine says, Danny, your English is very good, and I wanted to compliment you on your editing for the past 2 years. Great job. Oh,
Oh.
that's so sweet. Thank you so, so much.
Mira, te están mandating flowers,
Sí,
echating flowers.
sí, tan bonitos. Eh, Porque, wait, so Bashria said, I'm going to try.
Go, Bistria.
No, because I was laughing about William Felipe's comment about this, but I have to read first Bashria's comment.
Okay.
Because it says, I'm going to try translating what Callum said according to my very limited knowledge of Spanish. Unfortunate, Unfortunately, I understand when you speak Spanish, but I don't speak. Yeah, I don't know the rest. Y William Felipe dice, Besh, me dio la va. Beshri aprendiendo español y escuchando orear la silla. Sí, creo que
Pero así es como se aprende.
es el mejor lugar para...
No, es el mejor lugar.
Pues sí.
Así es que se aprende. La van a entender nativa apenas llegue.
Sí.
Sí.
Disculpe, puede
Sí,
orear la silla.
sí, sí. Señora, siéntese. No, déjeme que estoy oreando la silla.
Ay, no. Robin says, I have a Spanish speaking partner and my Spanish remains dismal. What's dismal?
Dismal como muy malo, muy...
You should try, like, of course, it's not, como digo, propaganda, like an ad or nothing, but you should try Duolingo.
Yeah, it's
I
actually
think it's
good.
cool.
That
Yeah,
helped. That
it
has
helps
helped
a
me a
lot.
ton with my Italian for my daughter's homework.
And
So
it's super, like, easy to follow what they're teaching. It's not like that you just like they just show a lot of words that you don't understand. No, it's super cool. And they also help you to get better at pronunciation,
mhm.
which is cool. Daniel MC dice, hay unos colores, ¿cuáles son mejores para empezar a pintar tradicionalmente? ¿Funciona el Zorn Palette?
Sí, 100%. Yo siempre hablo de las bondades de esa paleta, que en mi caso es, bueno, en mi caso y muchísimas otras personas, pero los que yo uso para, digamos, interpretar esa paleta es blanco de titanio, amarillo ocre, rojo cadmio y negro marfil.
Cristian dice, creo que nos veremos hasta el 28 que ahora juega el Chelsea, así que felices fiestas para todos en su familia. Muchas gracias por todo.
Uy, Carabao Cup, sí, creo.
Y gracias, Cristian. Nos veremos el 28. Hashtag 28 es 24.
Aunque sea hincha del Chelsea, pero bueno.
Robin says, I do that one, but get lost in conversation. Have you tried maybe, Robin, like watching TV on Spanish, in Spanish with subtitles? I think that helps a lot. Or
Like
reading?
Jane the Virgin.
I like that one. Nicolas is making fun of me.
Do you think, Danny, that Jane the Virgin is in your top 3 shows ever?
Top 3? No.
No?
No, I think it's entertaining and funny. Because I've told you that when I'm like drawing, painting, or whatever, I need like a light series, like something I don't have to be super invested in and like watching all the time the screen, because then I end up doing nothing of what I'm trying to do. And that's the sort of series that I can just like put in the back and
Yeah,
just
like
listen to, and
turn off your brain.
yeah, yeah. Mm, but I have to say, it got like super good score in Rotten Tomatoes and
No, I know
IMDb.
you defend that series quite a lot.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I laugh a lot. I like it. I really like it.
I love it.
I
It's in my
love it.
top
No,
3.
no, I love it. I would say I love it, but I don't know if it's my top three. I mean, mm, eh, Robin says it does. So does your channel. JTV is hysterical, especially after living in Miami. Mm, Jesús de la Osa dice, ¿qué piensas del método Loomis?
Uy, genial. Andrew Loomis es lo máximo. Andrew Loomis es lo máximo. Yo no, yo creo que yo soy como un híbrido de muchísimas como maneras de construir imagen, pero obviamente como, como ilustrador, que pues yo tampoco es que pueda vanagloriarme mucho de lo que ilustré porque pues no fueron tantos años que estuve trabajando como ilustrador, pero pues mi amor de por la ilustración es súper sincero. Mm, pues uno tiene un respeto enorme por gente como Loomis, que fue un profesor gigante para tantísimas generaciones de ilustradores. Entonces, sí, una manera muy eficiente de construir imagen, la verdad, de uno de los ilustradores más sólidos que existieron pues en la historia de la ilustración americana, 100%.
Este no lo entendí. Lázaro Olier dice, jajaja, que horneaste era un meme. Sonaba más gracioso en mi memoria, jaja.
¿Qué?
No sé qué está diciendo.
Se fue Lázaro, se fue lejos. ¿Qué pasó ahí? No sé.
Callum says, Nicolas y Danny, have you watched the new season of The Witcher? No.
No, I heard somebody say last night because I haven't seen the first one either.
No.
Danny is
No,
not
I haven't seen it.
super big on like fantasy, like medieval fantasy. So I don't know how much you would like it, Danny. Um,
But I would give it a try. You
you
know,
could.
I'm always hoping to.
I know, but you're not super into like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. Like you weren't really. Like I'm not saying that you're
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna get
open.
a little maybe hate, but
No, what?
I
No,
didn't like Game of Thrones
no,
that
no.
much.
You're fine. You
Like
know
I
that I
never.
don't respect you for that, but especially like the mid seasons, but like season 4, 5. Oh my
No,
god,
yeah,
some of the best television ever. But
I
anyways,
never got to see the.
anyways, so Witcher, I don't know if you would like it. I mean, I don't want to. You know that I never try to impose anything on you, but I just, from knowing you or thinking that I know you well, I would say that it's not your jam.
Maybe I can
Um,
surprise you, or maybe not.
well, yeah, I don't think I don't think I'm mistaken about this one. But from what I heard about, somebody speaking last night that there were like very few monster fights, which is like super cool when he has to hunt. And that there was very little of that. I think it was like heavy-handed story, maybe, but I'm wrong. Like I haven't even seen the first season because it had like mixed reviews also. So no.
Uh, Sandy Under the Sea says,
Oh, hey Sandy.
Have you heard of Easy Languages channels? I watch the Easy German and I love it since I find easier to watch videos than Duolingo. I'm sure they have an Easy Spanish channel. No, I've never heard of that.
Oh, me
Is it like
neither.
a YouTube thing or a TV thing?
Sounds like a
Maybe.
YouTube channel.
Mm, Explorer 228 says, unpopular opinion, but I actually liked the ending to Game of Thrones. I
I
don't
didn't
know.
mind it. No, I didn't mind it. I mean, it was when compared to the rest of the seasons, it was. I mean, it's undoubtedly rushed. I mean, they were just rushing through, and the tempo was also better when they had like actual material to work with. So I think that those things are, almost, you can't challenge those things. I feel that's just true. Um, and when both of them had to figure out how to tell the rest of the story, yeah, it was weird. I think they were both tired, and I don't know if they were just excited about doing. Are they still doing like the Star Wars things? Because I think Disney hired them to do something Star Wars. So maybe that's where their mind was at that moment. They were like, yeah, let's just finish this off. We just want to go to the next thing. But yeah, but I didn't mind how like the the things that happened. I didn't mind at all. Um, but yeah, it was just I was loving the fact that the story was so kind of slow, and it was like a perfect like slow cooking for the best moments of that series were so perfectly timed that I guess I missed that. Like many people, I think the people that criticize the last two seasons, it's more about just tempo. Like, come on, there's so many. It you got like a distorted notion of how time sort of passed when during the rest of the series you had like you had almost like this feeling of what it meant to traverse like all these places. Um, and yeah, that was kind of ruined by the end. But anyways, that's my opinion. That's
Mm, I think I stopped watching when there's like a boy in a
boy,
in a castle, like
boy.
trapped in a tower or something like that. Am I wrong?
Um, I'm trying to think up
That
to what
I
point
don't
you,
know
you
why I
did
think they're
watch.
paralyzed or something, or
Yeah,
maybe I'm mixing.
yeah. No, they pushed him from the window.
Oh yeah, cause he saw something.
Well, he
Yeah.
saw he saw brother and sister having sex.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't remember m- like a lot about that series. Maybe I can give it a try.
I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because I would, for the start of every season, I would watch all of them.
Maybe
Like,
that was the problem. Cause remember there was the new season coming out,
yeah,
and you were like, you've never seen that, and I was like, no, maybe I can binge watch everything,
yeah,
so I can know
what is
what's
going on?
happening.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you had to know.
No, but yeah, but I had to watch like 4 episodes a day, so I just
Oh,
got
I'd be
tired.
fine with that.
No, I
If I
couldn't.
had nothing else to do,
Like
like
I
in
can see
life,
4 episodes of Jane the Virgin.
oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, we watched like, do you remember for Dark? We would watch
Oh,
like a whole season in like 2 days.
y- yeah.
Like we couldn't stop.
I could rewatch Dark
We should. We should. I
and
think I mean, it's never going to be like watching it the first time,
yeah.
never.
Yeah.
But
But it's amazing.
cuz we would scream out loud,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
But
And we were like, "What?" And we
yeah, yeah.
paused the
No. We were
yeah.
yeah, it
It was
was
an amazing experience.
yep.
Also, I remember because I haven't seen before I met you. I've never seen Breaking
A
Bad.
ghost?
Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
and I loved it.
Yeah, it was one of the best series ever.
Yeah, that's of course in my top three.
Oh yeah,
And
sure.
I really loved Better Call Saul too.
Yeah, I
Really
hope
good.
they yeah, I have a feeling like they're stretching it, but I think this is like going to be the last season. So I'm hoping they finish it
Really,
well.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Soul, let's see.
Saul. Let's see. Marcelo Peralta says, to me, Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones is two very distinct things. I always find it funny when you talk about both of them as if they are in the same fantasy genre.
Well, there's dragons.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
there's
I know. I,
dragons.
I understand why you group them
Yeah.
when you're talking to me, at least. Because
Yeah.
that for me is like a category. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure that if you wanted to be super, super, super specific about it, sure. But I mean, there's magic and there's dragons. Come on. So it would be hard not to.
because it's like
Um,
saying that dark and lost have a lot in common. I mean,
well,
they're
I don't think Dark would have ever happened without Lost.
yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, no, what I was gonna say is that they are super different, but
Very
of
different.
course you can group them in the same
Well, yeah, because they were trying to deal with,
the
I don't want to
same
say anything because
yeah,
maybe there's people
but the
that.
same thing. So yeah. Callum was saying it was all right. I enjoyed it. Not played the games though. If I could make a recommendation, you should watch Alice in Borderlands on Netflix. My series of the year.
Wow, series of the year.
What would be your series of the year?
Of the year? I don't even know what we watched this year that's like amazing.
I don't
Did we
even
watch something that we
remember
loved?
what we.
Oh, I mean I enjoy the like I enjoyed Loki a lot, but I am
Mhm.
biased towards like Marvel stuff. So by the way, they just today, Danny, they put
Mhm.
the Doctor Strange trailer up.
Yeah.
Like Marvel, like officially they put it up.
We
So
have to see
so
it.
now it's not like a spoiler. No, it's like the
Oh,
same
the
one
one
from
at
the
the end.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I
so
get it.
it's the same one, but they put it out.
Okay.
So it's not a spoiler
I
anymore.
really like the Only Murders in a Building. I don't
Oh,
know if
that was
it's my
fun. That
top,
was entertaining,
but it
I
was
feel.
good. It was good.
Yeah, that was entertaining. But yeah, Alice in Borderland.
I think I've seen like the flyer in Instagram. What? In
The
Netflix?
flyer?
Yeah, like the image. Isn't it called a flyer?
Is it called a flyer? I don't know. I just
No?
always associate flyer with like something that they give you on the street. And,
Well, I've seen the image. Netflix.
thumbnail, I would say? No?
Mm,
Maybe you were thinking
maybe.
thumbnail?
No.
No?
Like cause it's not the thumbnail. It's like I don't know, whatever, like a tiny trailer
Okay.
that they show at the beginning, but when they're like suggesting series.
Oh, right. Yeah, the little video that goes on.
Yeah. Mm, a ver. Sergio. Ah, bueno, pero ahorita la leo. Voy a leer un poquito más de lo de las series y ahorita leo esta para cambiar de tema. Leah dice, had anyone seen Matrix 4? No spoilers. What did you think? I haven't.
No, but
No,
I
we
heard like
haven't.
not great things,
But-
unfortunately. And I'm a big fan of Matrix.
But we're open to watching it. Yeah.
Yes, but Danny, I also realized that it's premiering on HBO,
Oh, okay.
and you know what that means for
Mm.
pirates like me?
Mm. Mm. So Sandy Under the Sea, when they were talking about the easy language channels,
Yeah.
said it's YouTube, usually native speakers doing interviews to other native speakers on the streets, and they provide subtitles. The last one I watched was about
Sorry.
Uh.
No, I almost dropped my brush.
what German people thought of Elon Musk, usually educational, but also current topics.
What do German people think of
Elon
Musk? Yeah, I'm curious.
Mm,
And is it different from what, other people in the world think of him? Should all agree that he should pay his taxes. I think that's one thing, but aside from that.
Ay, mira, debe ser que le bajaste mucho al gain porque están diciendo, Nicolás, creo que tu voz tiene interferencia, parece que hablaras 2 veces, o sea que el mío te está detectando, o sea que hay que subirle al tuyo. A ver, habla.
Hola.
No, dale en serio para mirar los niveles, o sea,
Hola.
jajaja.
Hola.
Hola.
Sí, pero no debería ser que porque este está más bajito, el tuyo me...
Sí, porque cuando los niveles del tuyo están más altos, las barras que detecta el mío no se alcanzan, o sea, no alcanzan a ser iguales que como las detecta el tuyo.
No, no, porque el tuyo detecta igual si yo le quito el gain al mío o no, ¿sí me
Sí,
entiendes?
pero tus
Eso
barras
no.
se bajan, eso es lo que estoy diciendo. O sea, tus barras, como son menos fuertes, de pronto, o sea, digamos
mm,
que cuando le bajas el gain, el mío detecta hasta la mitad, ¿cierto? Si tú le bajas el gain al tuyo, el tuyo de pronto detecta también hasta la mitad,
Eso yo creo que, ¿sabes qué creo que es? Es algo de entonces de OBS.
de pronto. Pero ya igual, a ver, acá le bajo un poquito al mío y listo.
¿Qué tal ahora? Y qué pena. Sí, cuando vean que algo está pasando con el audio, porfa, díganos de una y
Sí,
tratamos de
gracias,
corregirlo.
Mateo. Em, eh, a ver. Eh, eh, eh. Explorer 228 says Yellow Jacket is pretty good. They take a lot from Lost. New season of Dexter as well. Oh, we started watching Dexter. Do you
I think we
remember?
saw the first season,
Yeah, I don't
like
remember.
complete
Yeah,
season.
maybe.
Yeah, but I told you it wasn't for me. I don't think it's for me.
Maybe I can give it a try again.
Yeah?
Yeah. Uh, but the thing is that when it's like true crime, I like it being like true crime and not like
Yeah, this is like a
acting.
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like a show.
Mm, eh, Sergio Beltrán dice, Nicolás, ¿tienes algún top de artistas nacionales e internacionales
Top de artistas. mm,
favoritos? Pues
mm, pero quiero hablar como de gente que no hablo como tantas veces. Como a ver si puedo hablar de alguien, como de alguien nuevo así que me guste chévere. Mm, o quién estoy como disfrutando así resto últimamente. Hmm,
porque tu top usual sería
no, Ruprecht.
Ruprecht,
mm,
Benjamin,
sí.
Rembrandt. Yo sé un mix
No, pero actual,
rarísimo.
actual. O
¿Actual?
sea, sí, sí,
Ah,
sí.
ok.
Em, Estoy viendo a ver qué, como supuestamente el algoritmo de Instagram me debería arrojar lo que yo más
No, pero
consumo.
pues tú sigues 4000 cuentas. Obviamente
Sí, sí,
no.
sí, soy grave en
Sí,
eso.
¿de qué
Sí,
hablas?
Phil Hale, pero me mostró Phil Hale, que siempre me fascina, obviamente. No, pero es que yo soy fatal, o sea, yo me pongo a decir artistas y creo que termino diciendo 200
40.
artistas, sí.
Sí,
Y que al final siento que son 200 artistas que me encantan.
sí, sí, sí.
Por ejemplo, Jeremy Miranda me fascina, o sea, lo que hace y está haciendo como unas pinturas chiquitas que se me hacen extraordinarias. ¿A quién más estoy viendo por acá? Uy, Grace hizo ¿viste las botas que hizo
Sí.
Grace?
Pero pues
Dios
es que
mío,
Grace es absurda.
Dios. Gracina Samosir es increíble, la verdad. Esta imagen de Oliver Jeffers está increíble.
No
Que
la...
dice a wall y es una puerta
Ah,
dibujada encima de una
divina.
paredcita
Sí,
y la tacha y dice adore. Es que I adore it. La tipografía de Oliver Jeffers es,
absurda.
sí, es
Sí.
divina. ¿Qué más estoy viendo aquí? Que me guste, que me guste. Qué pena, esto es,
Sí, pausa de
sí, esto
Instagram
es
fue esto. ¿Qué te pasó?
fantástica live.
Bueno, a ver,
Ya, o
miremos.
sea, voy a hacer 10 veces más así scroll y
10
ya.
es mucho.
No, en mí es
Uno, dos,
rapidísimo.
tres, cuatro,
¿Quién es esto?
5. No, mire,
Espérate.
like, compartir. 6,
Sí.
7,
Y
8,
creo que comenté algo. Salió un Rockwell.
9, 10. Listo. 10,
Sí, no, sabes que
10,
no vi
10.
nada. O sea, no le di like a nada.
Ya, Nicolás.
Eso es así, así me dices tú, que, oye, si no le das like a nada, ¿por qué lo sigues?
No, yo no te digo eso. Yo lo que te
Pues,
digo
pero
es
no, 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 pero, o sea,
porque Nicolás es like, o sea, él siempre es like, guardar, compartir, pantallazo. O sea,
sí,
yo en
sí,
cambio soy de
sí.
las que veo y es como, ah, está súper.
Yo
like,
consumo
y
imagen
ya.
como
Sí,
loco.
pero tú
Yo
eres like,
trago imágenes.
compartir, todo.
Sí, 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 sí. Yo soy como un ganso que
¿Qué
no, no
vas a
sé.
decir? Ya salte de Instagram, Nicolás.
A los gansos que los llenan
Ganso.
que les llenan el hígado para el
¿Qué?
paté. Sí, tú no sabías eso, es súper inhumano, por eso es que uno no debería nunca comer paté. Si Nicolás Uribe gordito de 7 años hubiera sabido que el paté es tan inhumano. Bueno, yo comía paté de cerdo, entonces no sé.
Pues es lo mismo, pero con un
Sí,
cerdo.
traté de sonar menos
¿De qué
como
hablas? Sí.
menos sofisticado, igual soné como el hijo de Luis XV. Em, sí, no sé para dónde voy con eso.
Además, estabas hablando de tus artistas
Ah,
favoritos.
a mí me pueden embutir imágenes como al ganso que le embuten para hacer paté con el hígado. Sí, está fuerte la imagen, pero
No, ¿qué
pues,
te pasa?
no sé, pero y la verdad tiene sentido, pero pues sí, me fui un poquito. Pero soy como, imágenes. Ya, ya
Bueno,
terminé.
voy a buscar rápido cómo
¿Ayuda?
cerrar esta parte de la conversación. So Column says, on
Yes,
the
Callum.
painting, could you talk a little about your decision making around the edges of the cup?
Yeah, I think the one of the most interesting parts of the painting that I did quite anticipate. I thought it was going to just be about value compression and value control and changing hues, but trying to have those values remain the same. I thought it was going to be one of those paintings, which I actually enjoy quite a lot. And I think that that's there. I have a feeling that that's like the DNA of that is still there. But what I didn't anticipate, which is kind of cool still, is that the painting was going to become also about edge work. As soon as I did the bottom part, I realized, oh, okay, this is giving me the opportunity to do some very, very sharp edges, some very, clean, sharp edges. So if some of the moments of the painting are giving me that chance, then we should use it. We should really empower that the range that we can access by pushing edge work, by pushing the sharpness of those edges against like the looseness of the other edges. So of the lost edges. So I think the painting sort of became about those two coming together, or it's I thought I was a little lost at the beginning, uh, but I feel like I've been gaining some footing, and it seems to have a direction now. Um, and it's nice. I don't like. I usually this is something that I usually tell Danny. I don't have a sense of wholeness still. I kind of like what I'm seeing, but it's very abstract. It's super, super abstract, I feel. Um, and I don't quite have a sense of all these shapes coming together. I don't know if they configure like form
Perdón.
as I don't know cogently as I wish they would. But I kind of like what I'm feeling while painting it, so I just kind of kept pushing towards that direction throughout the whole painting. So yeah, so I don't know. And to go back to your question, as soon as I recognized that that was going to be like an integral aspect of that image, I was like, okay, let's try to find like rhythms throughout the painting where, I'm very basic with this. I don't think there's, I don't think that I could ever teach somebody how to understand rhythm or how to identify rhythm. And after identifying it, what to do with it. Because it's very, I don't know. I've always composed from my gut and I've always understood rhythm from my gut also. I think that those things that are super, those notions that are super abstract, because to me they're very, very abstract in picture making, they are hard for me to grasp as quantifiable terms. They're super, super hard for me to understand as something that you could make like a textbook of. Um, and I just kind of have like this, I don't know, this just natural, sort of instinctual feeling for a painting. You just kind of feel it out. And if it's too much, like if the rhythm of it is too harsh when I need it to be slower, then I always try to find a way to break that up. Um, and this one's kind of interesting because, yeah, they're two geometric moments, really. The box and then this, basically this, kind of cylinder, or this pyramid cone that's cut off at the bottom. Um, but the geometry in both of them is quite different, and the little bit of that napkin in there just serves as a, I think it serves as a very organic sort of nice, um, not even entryway into this, but just like an exhaust pipe almost. It just gives you another, like, something completely different from what's going on over here. I mean, it is sharp, but it's, I don't know. I just understand it as something quite different. So I don't know. I started looking for, okay, when is it sharp? When do I need to contrast to find some sort of contrast? And when can I just let things go? And if I need to find not contrast but differentiation between two shapes, when can I just call upon hue to do that for me? So a lot of it is sharpness in terms of edge work to achieve contrast, but also that small amount of contrast that can also be achieved when values are very close together, but you can access that again, that very low contrast, but contrast nonetheless, um, through hue changes. I feel that that's where this painting took me. Again, it's a very strange one. It became like a just like this kind of staggered rhythm of geometries, but I like it. When I realized that that's what was happening, I was like, okay, let's do this. Like, this is what this painting is going to be about. Um, and I don't, I always leave myself like some room and an open mind, because I always find that I may have an idea of where a painting is headed, this sort of preconceived idea of where a painting is headed. Uh, but I'm always willing to bet that I'm wrong about it also. And I'm always hoping that I'm wrong about it, just so that I can learn something from the painting experience, because then to me it's like a super, super interesting painting experience. So I love those. I love paintings that I'm where I'm not the same person that I was when I started painting, as opposed to the one that I, when I finished the painting. I love those paintings. I absolutely adore those paintings. There are paintings that sometimes you just do what you know and you feel cool. Like, it's almost like exhibiting that that you possess this bit of knowledge, and you reaffirm that knowledge with the execution of a painting, and that's super cool. Like, that solidifies things that you like, that you recognize about your own sensibility, and that you can say, I am about these things. And that's super cool, because doing that, it helps you identify ultimately who you are. And that's really important too. That's super, super important. So I've never been, I've never punished myself for in many ways, like, repeating a same image, if that kind of makes sense. But I adore paintings that throw me in different directions and show me, okay, we're going to do something today that you're not good at, or you're not supposed to know yet, or you haven't had this experience, or you haven't really pushed enough in this direction to understand what this means. I love those paintings. And I wouldn't go so far as to say that I've never done paintings like the one I'm doing right now. No. I think I've had these wonderful experiences with what I was saying at the beginning. I could kind of sense this was going to be an atmospheric painting, compressed values. I would have to rely on my hues to change to achieve some sense of contrast. But it became way more about rhythm through edges and geometry than I thought. Even though, like, looking at the image, I mean, the box should have been like an easy, super easy way to know that was going to be the case with this painting. But like I said, sometimes I'm dumb, or I'm kind of blind to things that are going to be super obvious once you start doing the painting. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know if I answered the question, but hopefully I answered enough of that question to let you realize that, yeah, what happened was, me kind of navigating this painting and identifying something that I knew was supposed to be there, but that I kind of, I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be so much about that from the beginning. So,
Yeah, so Column says, thanks, man. Appreciate the info. Still can't believe these streams are free. Haha. Um, Explorer228 says, are you attempting to recreate the colors you see in your model or
no.
pushing the colors? Can you talk?
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, Danny. You know that I'm
Always.
super instinctual to
Yeah.
answering something. I'm so sorry. I got to get better at doing
No,
that.
no,
I'm
it's
so sorry.
fine. Can you talk a bit about this sort of mental filter?
Yeah, it's difficult to like put into words though, but um I think that filter ultimately is who you are. I think that I've always called it like a strainer. Is it strainer, Danny? Could you look that up for me? Like
Como
como un
colador,
colador?
sí.
Is it a strainer? Is that how
Sí,
you say?
colador es
Yeah,
strainer.
I think that strainer is your own sensibility. And when you put things through that strainer, it's super cool. It's super, super interesting because by doing so, you're magnifying the things that you are moved by. And I've always adored that. Always, always. I think that's one of the most exciting things about making images, I feel. It's just that opportunity that you have to say, okay, how am I going to interpret this? Because you don't really have to know or anticipate how you're going to do it, but you can be conscious of your own sensibility and just say, oh, I'm guessing that this is going to happen, but I don't know for sure what's going to happen. So that to me is one of the coolest parts of painting, and that's what makes it super interesting for me. Every single time I kind of like decide to sit down and paint. So yeah, I in my case, I think what happens with hues, you could sort of understand it as the same, the same. I would say the same action that happens, with edges, where the edges that are there in the image are not the ones that I'm doing in my painting, but the ones that I'm doing in my painting are how they feel to me when I'm trying to solve them as a painting. So I think sometimes with color, it's kind of harder for us to say, well, are you seeing that color? Like, is that how you see things? Or many times we say, that's not what it looks like. So surely you must be painting something wrong, or you're just not capable of translating the same color. But for example, if you think about edge work, it's exactly the same thing. Like the way we can interpret how two forms meet is exactly the same. Like your sensibility is at work there, and you're translating your attempt to translate into paint is at work there. So those decisions that you are making when trying to translate into painting are the same ones that are super hard at work when you are deciding to mix something with a particular hue. And that to me is like really, really fun. It's really interesting just to see, okay, how much of this I'm going to push, and does this fit? And in my brain, it could be simple stuff, like super formal stuff. Like it could be just, hey, this feels far more yellower than this other thing. And I just push the yellow, or this feels far more purple than this other thing. And I'll push the purple. I'll have a blast pushing that purple. Now, the degree in which you push that purple, I think that that's what answers the question of who you are. You know, I don't want to say that that's the only way to answer the question of who you are, but that degree in which you push things really tells you a lot about who you are. So there's people that are going to push the geometry, you know, in this like crazy. Like crazy. They're just going to love all these like, you know, heart shapes, and they're just going to have a blast with that and just go to town with that. There's other people that are going to push atmosphere. I think I fall on like a middle point where I am trying to push atmosphere, but I'm also trying to push geometry, like shapes, the interaction, the choreography of shapes. So I'm probably just trying to access things from both sides, from a lot of sides of this of this kind of sensible stimulus that is in front of me.
Alberto José Silva Londoño dice,
Uy,
hola,
gracias por ese nombre así súper notarial también. Qué pena.
dice, hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas
Tengo una
tardes.
pregunta
Sí,
técnica
sí, claro.
que sé que ya su merced comentó y es
Tranquilo.
acerca del liquid.
Sí.
¿Podría ser contraproducente mezclar el óleo con el liquid? ¿Qué medios utiliza? Mil gracias.
Contraproducente en el sentido, no, pues o sea, es un medio para óleo. O sea, es un medio comercial que se ha desarrollado para el óleo y tiene más de 30 años. Entonces, así que uno diga, no, esto es pésimo, pues de pronto no es tan longevo como lo es un medio tradicional, digamos un medio de, no sé, o sea, aceite polimerizado, barniz damar y trementina. De pronto no es tan estable como esos medios tradicionales, pero no quiere decir que sea un mal medio. Por eso le digo, igual lo produjo una casa de pintura de las más grandes del mundo y lleva más de 30 años. Más de 30 años. Entonces, si no estoy mal, Dani, me buscas cuando se inventó
¿El
Winsor
liquid?
Newton pues, o sea, yo no sé si Winsor Newton se inventó los medios alquídicos, pero sé que el liquid es de los primeros y sé que ellos lo hicieron de primeros y creo que es como el 86, 80 y...
Dice, pues no es en específico, pero en el liquid, del liquid dice eh, que el medio alquídico de resina para artistas fue inventado en los setentas.
70 incluso, entonces tiene más de 40
Sí.
años. Sí, entonces, sí, entonces digamos que tenemos, no sé si tiempo es suficiente, pero sí claramente hemos tenido tiempo para identificar si es un medio lo estable, por lo menos para la pintura. Y yo creería que 40 años, digamos, 40 llegando a casi 50 años de un medio es un tiempo suficiente para poder hablar con objetividad de la estabilidad, que eso es como lo más importante para muchísimas personas que trabajan con diferentes medios. Entonces, mmm, ahora, lo que pasa es que el medio alquídico cuando seca se transforma. Eso es como, digamos, lo malo. Cuando el liquid seca, hace una película súper gruesa, amarilla, porque él tiene como un color local mucho más amarillo que el del aceite. Digamos que el del aceite de linaza. Y es muy evidente, o sea, mire, bueno, no está la paleta, pero voy a poner un poquito. Dani, ¿por acá se ve?
No,
¿No?
no, mira. O sea, te tocaría como...
Pero sí, es que quería ponerlo sobre algo blanco, pero es un medio, pues amarillo, o sea, sí, no hay ninguna duda de que es un medio que tiene un tono como dorado. Entonces, no es un tono inerte, digamos, no es un dorado inerte, o sea, no es un dorado que no le va a afectar a la imagen, no. Sí va a tener como un efecto sobre los colores, mínimo, mínimo, pero lo tiene, seguro. O sea, eso sí es ineludible. Es como decir que si uno pinta con cera, que entonces la opacidad de la cera no va a afectar los valores tonales. No, obvio los afecta, los puede afectar de una manera mínima, pero sí los va a afectar. Em, pero, yo no creo que lo grave sea ese tono como dorado. Yo creo que lo más grave es que cómo se transforma. Entonces, si en 150 años, digamos, que eso es, pues no, ese es un tiempo que no hemos podido determinar, no hemos podido saber cómo se comporta el liquid en 150 años. Pero si en 150 años llega a haber problemas muy evidentes con el liquid y un restaurador quiere tratar de retirarlo de la pintura para poderle dar un barnizado o una protección como mucho más estable, no lo puede hacer. No se puede porque cuando el liquid cambia, cuando se oxida y cambia y se transforma, es una superficie, o sea, genera una lámina que esa vaina no la disuelve nada, o sea, o no es que no la disuelva nada, pero, y es que se está moviendo mucho, Linda.
Es que sí, es que se mueve
Sí,
la...
no, no puedo. Sí, que me perdonen hoy que
No, no
me, que
importa.
me, que me tengan cariño y me perdonen, así como me perdonaron la ida al baño ahorita al
No, pero
comienzo.
dices que perdonar ir al
Perdón,
baño.
perdón.
No, ¿qué tal?
Eh,
Tú no eres... Ese era un chiste para inglés, pero te iba a decir que tú no eres un robot como Calvin,
sí,
que no tiene que ir al
él
baño.
necesita es cambios de aceite.
Sí.
Pero entonces, sí, las personas que normalmente se oponen como al liquid es por eso, porque en un futuro sería imposible hacer un ajuste sobre la imagen. Imposible. Esa es la verdad. Sería absolutamente imposible. Entonces, ¿y por qué imposible? Porque para retirarlo, pues se necesitaría un solvente muy fuerte que al final termina afectando la pintura si uno se lo llegara a aplicar a la imagen. Entonces, pues la gente dice, no, yo no quiero lidiar con eso. Más bien lidio con como el malo conocido, que es el aceite, la resina de amar, y ya, y nosotros sabemos, todos sabemos cómo se comportan esas dos cosas, nosotros sabemos cuán amarilla se vuelve la resina de amar, el barniz de amar, y también sabemos que se puede retirar relativamente fácil, un restaurador puede hacer ese trabajo relativamente fácil, y ya, como que de nuevo, malo conocido, porque pues ninguna de esas cosas tampoco es que sea buena. Entonces hay mucha gente que pues le tiene susto a lo que es distinto. Y pues esa gente normalmente se aferra como a la tradición porque pues tenemos ya en la pintura occidental tenemos pues siglos y siglos y siglos de pinturas que nos han educado acerca de lo que podemos esperar con ciertos materiales y de lo que tenemos que hacer para tratar de llegar a que esos materiales sean estables. Entonces hay mucha gente que dice, ¿y yo para qué me invento lo que ya está inventado? ¿Para qué me pongo a bobear si esto ya se lo inventaron? Entonces hay mucha gente que dice, no, perdón, pero yo más bien voy a usar las cosas que se han usado históricamente. Yo no soy mucho de eso. Yo no soy. Les voy a mostrar, por ejemplo,
¿La
uy, oh,
cera?
Linda, me,
¿La
me
cera?
pasa. Sí, pero este papelito que tengo acá. So I'm going to show because I was asked by. ¿Te acuerdas quién hizo la pregunta,
Claro,
Linda?
Alberto José Silva Londoño.
Alberto José Silva,
Londoño.
Londoño, que suena más paisa, pues. eh, ¿Me pasas esa hojita? Alberto José was asking why I should use, like, what I thought about the use of liquid. And I was just expressing my thoughts on liquid, but I'll show you guys something that I did this morning because I was very, very curious. Oh, sorry. So I'm using this like spare page of moleskin that I had that it was like bent, so I'm using it. And I was very curious because I was waxing some of my paintings today. And by waxing, I mean literally like applying wax to them, like a wax that is meant for stone flooring. And I was curious because I had never done it. I felt like super bad for never doing this. And I was like, could that wax be medium for paint? Like, could I use this as medium for paint? So I did some areas here where I was just mixing wax and paint. I used like my titanium white, and I used raw umber for that. So I started mixing it, with in some like a lot of wax and a little bit of color, and then just mixing it with a brush. So it's kind of grainy when I mix it with the brush. And then I tried to mix it with a palette knife, just trying to get like a good mix. And at least from what I can tell initially, it does mix. Like, it's crazy, but it does mix. I have no idea what's in the wax. I know it's a synthetic wax. So, but I have no idea what the solvent is. I have no idea what's in it. I could ask the company if they could send me like a text sheet, but I have no clue what's in it. But I was just curious to see if it would dissolve oil paint. And there are a couple of ways where you could tell if it doesn't. Usually if it gets like super grainy or cloudy, instantly, like, you can tell if something doesn't mix. You can really tell. It gets broken up, it gets clumpy, or it gets very cloudy, it gets grainy. Like, those are all like super red flags when something is not chemically soluble in another substance. So I was very, very surprised that it is. So I in theory, I could use it as a medium. It would be like a wax, like a regular wax medium that is beeswax and turpentine. I could, in theory, use it as, a synthetic wax medium, which, there's nothing weird about that. There's tons of synthetic mediums out there for oil paint, so that's not weird. But I also started saying, could I mix it with liquid? Like, they're both synthetic. Like, and the liquid is like an oil modified thing. It's just super, super strange. It's like an acid and an alcohol, which I don't understand. I'm not going to, begin to even try to convince you guys that I understand what an alkyd medium is. That's for a chemist. We would need a chemist to explain to us what it is. But empirically, I was like, let me see if this mixes. And again, you're looking for telltale signs of something not being soluble, which is becoming very, very cloudy or clumpy. And nothing like that happened. It did become cloudy, but it is wax. It is very opaque wax. So, it's bound to be a cloudy medium. Like, it's bound to be an opaque-ish medium. And I was surprised. And what I am more concerned about, which is super important, is to see if I could layer it. So what do I mean by that? So if I start working with paint with a little bit of liquid, or let's say just pure paint, and then I just give it like, I seal it, because this is important for me. So this is what I'm going to try to do. And I can let you guys know how this experiment goes, or we could do it live, honestly. I don't really care to put a painting through those. Yeah, drying times would be weird, Danny, but both wax and liquid, they are super fast dryers. And my titanium white with dryers is also a super fast dryer. So maybe those things could help. So I think in an alla prima painting, Danny, I don't think there would be a lot of problem, because it's just a very absorbent layer, and it's just a ton of stuff that you're throwing together, and none of it is just fighting with each other. Like, drying times are not fighting with each other, which are usually like the one thing that you have to be very mindful of when you're trying to couch paint.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking, because you said that you wanted to see how it layers.
right, so
you would need
right,
more time,
right.
drying time.
So this is what I'm thinking, Danny. So I'm thinking just a regular, like this, this is just paint, pretty much. This is like a layer of oil paint.
Yeah.
So what if I seal this? Thank you, Danny. What if I seal this, and let's say we seal it with, not like retouch varnish, which would have been years ago my go-to, but let's seal it with liquid. So, which is what I usually do as a quote-unquote terrible final layer of varnish. So what if we seal it, and then we kind of mix this wax and give it like a super cloudy, we mix the wax, the synthetic wax with paint, and we try to make it super, even more atmospheric and super weird. And this is where the problems may start, because I don't know if the wax can stick. Yeah, exactly. It can have the adhesive power to stick to the liquid, to the layer of liquid. Yeah. That's the first like super terrible thing that can happen, that it doesn't really adhere to that surface. So that would be terrible. Now, the other interesting part is, and the one way I know for a fact that it would adhere is to just put another layer of liquid to seal that wax layer, that second wax layer. So, let me try to explain my thought process here. If it adheres properly and it's just really grabbing onto that other surface, and if the it has dried enough, like if the superficial layer of that paint layer has dried sufficiently, the solvent that's in the alkyd medium won't disturb the paint layer.
What's underneath, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm also curious to see if the solvent in the liquid is actually harder or more powerful, stronger than the solvent in the wax. If the solvent in the liquid is stronger than the wax, then it'll definitely start to lift it up. But I'm only going to be able to know that if I have like this layer of wax and paint here, and then I try to seal it with liquid. But you know what's wonderful? If I let it dry and then I put that layer of wax of alkyd medium and nothing happens and it's super stable, then fuck yes. Like it can, I'm sorry, but it's like super exciting. Like I'm getting excited. I felt like a little rush of like adrenaline in my body just by saying that.
It's a cool experiment.
Yeah, but you know, if it is stable, that means that you can just layer wax, synthetic wax and like alkyd medium on top of each other and it's stable enough. Because when things are not stable, they will let you know super quickly. Like super quickly. And so I'm super curious. I'm really curious.
Be a super cool
yeah. So if you guys don't mind, like me just ruining a painting, I will so do that for you guys. Like for myself, for sure, but I will do that with you guys. And I know that it's a question that, you know, it's like that meme, nobody, ... like, you know, colon or semicolon. And then me, I wonder if you can, you know, layer synthetic wax for stone flooring and alkyd mediums for, you know, doing an oil painting. I think it would be super interesting. Because in my mind, like I love atmosphere in paintings, but I think I could do like super heavy atmospheric paintings with liquid helping me kind of like, you know, sort of push paint and have like transparencies and help me seal a surface, like you know, that part that's super important, which is isolate a surface, like an initial surface from the paint that you're going to put on top. I think if liquid allows me to do that, and if that wax just grabs onto that liquid for life, and then I put liquid on top and liquid doesn't lift my paint layer, oof.
Jackpot.
I think it's going to be cool. Because, again, you know, this is total, this is not scientific at all, but this is based from my own experiences. I think the harder solvent, Danny, is on the wax. I think the wax has harder solvent for sure. Because I've seen it when I don't seal my surfaces properly, Danny.
Yeah, it moves around.
It lifts up. It lifts. When I'm buffing it, it stains a little bit, a tiny bit. It's not as if I can see painting lifting, but it stains the rag that I'm using. So I think maybe that if the stronger solvent is on the wax, then I shouldn't really worry about the liquid being the one that can isolate my layers.
Okay.
So maybe that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's pretty cool.
That can be cool.
I have no idea about the adhesive strength of the wax though. So that could suck. But
that's why you have to experiment.
Right. But you know what I did also?
What?
I mixed the two of them. I mixed liquid with the wax.
Yeah, you said that, and that it didn't.
It didn't. I mean, I couldn't tell anything weird, like immediately wrong about it.
Like it wasn't separating or.
So in theory, even though it does thin it down quite a bit, but I guess if you leave it time, like the wax with oxygen gets, you know, it hardens, and the liquid as it oxidates also, it becomes a gel. So I'm guessing that even though it's kind of liquidy at the beginning, because you kind of thin it down, you end up thinning down that wax. So, initially under the brush, it just feels a little too kind of goopy, like slimy. Eventually, I think it would become like a super nice medium once it gels and once the wax hardens. It could be super, super cool. So you have like the best of both worlds. Like liquid is helping you with adherence, and the wax is helping you with that wonderful kind of velvety just finish. So I don't know if this was like super geeky and really uninteresting for everyone, but this is like the cook painter side of my brain just gets super excited about those things. So yes,
wait,
Daniel
Robin was saying, can you show a picture of the can?
Oh, of course.
I've only been able to find Johnson's floor wax, but I think this one's Colombian wax.
Yeah, so this one is called Stone Protec.
So it's like
I mean, I can't think of a more Colombian name because what they're trying to say is Stone Protect, but they've gone for Stone Protec.
So like it.
None of these two.
Like it would sound.
It would sound American.
English,
it sounds exotic.
When you read it in Spanish,
exactly, because none of these two words are. None of these two words are Spanish or even close to Spanish. Well, proteger, but come on. So this is. It says here it's wax in paste for a marble, granite, and other natural stones. So it's made for stone flooring, which I always guessed if it's good for stone flooring, it means that it has to harden really well. Like
and it says that it has like a super quick harden.
Yeah.
In the instructions.
Right, and it's not brittle.
For stone.
But that was my other when I started using this about, I don't even know, like 7 years ago, when I started using it, I was very worried that it was brittle because if you think that it's meant for stone flooring, and it hardens quickly, then you would think, oh my God, this thing hardens and it becomes brittle. So it may become brittle. So if it's on a flexible surface, it's going to crack.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that.
I'm gonna, because it's out of focus.
Okay, so
name,
do you want to refocus?
I can refocus.
Oh, there was Danny, the cinematographer here, focusing on the fly for you guys.
Wait, so I don't know why I can't move this spot.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was trying to focus the name.
Oh. Like here, Stone Protec.
Yeah.
Honestly, any wax would do. Any wax for stone flooring would do. I'm sure that Home Depot has like wax for stone flooring. There has to be an equivalent to this in the U.S. So, yeah, but I don't want to touch the painting, Danny. Oh, but I was gonna talk like just a second. Is it focused here? Está enfocado acá? So. This is what it looks like. It's just a paste. So I'm not supposed to do this without gloves, but for years I've been just handling it without gloves. So it smells like lemon, I'm sure just to hide the horrendous smell that it has. But yeah, it says it's irritant, but trust me, my skin is like, I have like a baby butt skin.
And
I'm super fair.
And it's not.
Yeah, and this isn't. Like it's never irritated my skin, so never ever. I'm not saying that maybe some of you guys may get their skin irritated. I don't use it every day also, so.
And you try not to use it on your skin, I mean.
Well, yeah, this is the most I've probably have it on my skin. But so it is a paste, and what I do is I literally just grab it with a knife. I apply it, so you can focus on the painting, Danny. So it comes in a tin can, so. So what I do is I just take some of that. I wish I could have I don't have a painting. I don't think I could do it with the jute one. No. Yeah,
Maybe
I wish
later,
I could show you. Yeah, no, but I'll show you guys next week.
Yeah.
What that feels like. But anyways, so I just liberally put it on my surface with a knife, very liberally. Like you'll see chunks of that. And then I have like these microfiber, like I either have sponges, like regular sponges, or I'll have like a very cheap little rag, soft rag, like you could use for your kitchen. Um, and then I just start wiping it. I start, and then you can wipe the excess off, but I leave like a thick layer. Thank you, Danny. Um, and I can wait, you can wait for a couple of minutes until it kind of sets, and then you can grab like a clean part of the rag and then start buffing it. And you buff it, buff it, buff it, and it leaves such a nice surface. It's so different from like a regular varnish that I mean, for me, I'm super sensitive to those things, but it just feels like a skin, like as if the painting has a skin. And
Like
I don't do it for all my
velvet.
paintings.
I would
Yeah,
say like velvet
yeah, it's very
varnish.
velvety, exactly. I don't do it for all my paintings. I usually do it for the paintings that I feel the gloss doesn't benefit them. For example, this painting. If this painting was super glossy, I feel like, why does it need to be glossy? Like it's very nice. It's nicer if it has that wax layer on top. So yeah, I'll show you guys that afterwards. But I'm very curious to see if it could work as a medium. I'm super super curious, very curious. So I'll be excited to do those little experiments. But anyways, Danny, I think this is the painting for today. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it
Yeah,
where it is.
I really
I
like it.
really like it. I think it was a hell of a lot of fun to paint. It's one of those paintings. You know how I always kind of say that I navigate through the painting, like
Yeah.
I traverse through the painting. I always feel like I'm on a little boat and I have to like travel through the painting. It's like a little odyssey. Um, but this one felt like it. This one, I think Callum was right when he was speaking about like those. I don't know if it was obvious when I was just trying to go through the painting that I was trying to determine where I needed to be sharp, where I needed to let go,
Hmm.
and I had a ton of fun doing that. A lot of fun doing that. Like at some point, I didn't even care that if this read as a box, as an open, kind of folded box. At some point I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, let's just grab onto like the abstract qualities of that, and let's hold on to those and let's have fun with those. And yeah, and obviously I struggled with the perspective on that ellipses, which I always, suck at. I suck at ellipses, um, and but that's just a fact. I'm always going to struggle, but I think I landed on a place where I'm like, okay, that's good. I liked the fact that this moment of the cup was the one that was telling me about its drawing, like the way it sat on space, but then the other part just kind of disappeared, into this atmosphere, and it was just cooler and more purple here. But there was I'm guessing like the whiteness of it was also bouncing and filling some of this up, so it did feel cool over here. But then it was yellower in some areas, so I tried to push that. Um, yeah, so a lot of fun in terms of that, of just trying to determine, when to change my hue, when to push contrast, very low contrast. I mean, the moments with the highest contrast, I guess, are here. Well, it would be here actually. Now that here or there or here. I don't mind that it's at these kind of twin peaks. Oh, Twin Peaks. Nice. That's the title.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's
Yes.
a series, no?
Yeah. It's a very famous. Um,
Have you seen it?
I saw it years ago. Years ago.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It starts like thinking the coolest thing that series does is that it's grounded, but then you realize that there's something off, like really weirdly off about it.
Hmm.
I haven't seen it again, so I don't really
We
know how
should
it's.
give it a try.
Yeah, we should. It's actually one of the
Really good?
most famous series in all of television. So,
But Twin
um,
Peaks is a cool name
yeah.
for the
So
painting.
any opportunity
Maybe
to just shout out to Lynch, that's totally fine.
maybe as good as 2080 is 24. So
Yeah, no, no. So anyways, so I think that's going to be the painting today. It was just a very traditional but abstract, I would say,
hmm
way of traversing through it. Just recognizing rhythms and recognizing shapes, geometries, choreography of those shapes, knowing when to push, when to let go. It was nice. It was a very nice exercise in that. So Anyways, I thought it was a cool day.
Yeah,
Different painting,
it
but
was.
very cool.
And cool conversation.
I hope so.
Well, at least for me.
Oh, it's always cool. I never have a boring day with you, Danny. Never.
I don't either.
Don't touch me, please.
So thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you, guys. You were
And,
awesome.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we don't know.
We're-
Well,
No, we're
what
not.
day is today? No, we could do Friday, maybe. What's Friday?
is, Navidad.
Oh, but
No.
yeah, no. 24. It's gonna
No.
be tough. I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, so we'll
Um,
see you next week. I mean, we're
okay.
gonna
I could
do
do a Friday one though.
We're gonna do
We
a
have no
24
life,
hour
Danny.
stream.
No
so
life whatsoever.
Just one day of vacations.
Yeah, yeah,
Nicolas.
sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll see you next
We're
week.
pathetic. No life at all.
Thank
no
you
Christmas
everyone
in this
for
house.
joining us. I don't know what he's saying, but thank you everyone. And we'll see you on Monday.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.